Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Associated Guest. I, as always, am your host, Alfie Animus, here on the Bear in Mind channel. And today, I guess, do you say Happy Memorial Day? I'm not even 100% sure. But it's Memorial Day, which means I'm off work. Which also means we're going to be on here for a little bit longer. So we're going to watch most of this. I know there's a little bit of where he goes through and watches a whole video from one of the two men on the street people. We're going to catch a little bit of that, but for the most part, we're going to sit here and you're going to go through a Lord Nuxanor video today. We're going to see what's going on. A lot of stuff happened over the weekend. My God, it never ends. Some good things, a lot of cope, a lot of seethe. Let's get started.
Over the last 2 days, it seems like everything happened at the same time. We got Donald Trump saying we're close to a deal while simultaneously threatening the Iranians. We got massive crash outs
kind
on
of
like
fucking hilarious.
The left and the neocon right and the
I'm saying
straight up moron right. You know, the podcaster class is fighting to the death.
You know, the grifters, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly. And then the one I know is not grifting. I'm pretty sure Fuentes believes everything he says. But still, fairly retarded.
With complete morons on, like, the war side. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. And that's why you have me to cover all the things in the least homosexual way possible. I've noticed a lot of homosexual news coverage. And that's not what we do here. Because I'm going to say
Isn't
the
it,
thing
though?
that everybody's thinking, even though everyone's too scared to say it. It's kind of yucky. It's yucky. I really don't like thinking about it. It's a little gross. Like, I understand everyone in society's been trying to normalize it because they're out there chumming it up and having drinks with Satan on the weekends. But unfortunately, we don't do that here. Stephen Colbert's show is over. Trump is celebrating. The Boys TV show tried to get a zinger in on Trump. Got absolutely obliterated by the internet because the ending was hot garbage. Quality Learing Center people going to jail. Hassan Piker subpoenaed by the FBI. Bro, we got all the things. Insane deep dive on all the things today. Definitely subscribe. We do a deep dive every day on all the things. Insane update in the White House. Breaking. The White House was locked down after as many as 30 shots fired in the vicinity. 15 million views, a massive discussion. Everyone's talking about it. There was another assassination.
Speaking of another massive discussion.
United States, Donald Trump. Can you please stop trying to kill my president? Oh my God! Literally.
I mean, it's getting old.
That's too much to ask. Come on. All right, and then of course you got the replies are a nice mix of morons. Here you got people trying to celebrate Donald Trump's assassination attempt, and you got some people making believe that Israel did it. Quite literally, you got all the brain rot in one place. It's a fantastic spot to be, and that's why you have me to cover all the morons. All right, so here's the update on the shooting outside of the White House. At around 6 p.m. yesterday, gunmen approached the White House on the west side. Gunmen brandished pistols, fired 3 times toward the White House. Secret Service returned fire. The gunman was taken down. Bystanders on the street also hit by gunfire, and the gunman never got into the perimeter. In other words, it was the gayest assassination.
I'm not going to lie. Benny Johnson's on my list, too. Not a good thing to say when we're talking about gunmen, but as far as possible grifters, I don't know, man. I don't know. He rubs me the wrong way. Not that I'm conservative or anything. He just doesn't seem genuine.
Assassination attempt of all time. Bro threw his life away for absolutely nothing just because he hated an orange guy. That's right. The Donald has found a way to absolutely turn what used to be considered normal people into complete drooling homunculi. All right.
Tommy, this is what always happens when we have something like this. I always start to check in on the security situation at the White House, but this is what happened around 6 o'clock this evening. I'm told that a gunman came up near the White House on the west side, what is described to me as Gate 17. This is kind of near 14th Street on the west side of the White House, and came up and brandished some sort of a pistol. We don't know what type of pistol it was, but he then fired toward the White House 3 times. And the United States Secret Service, they returned fire. We don't know how many shots.
Dumb fuck of the year award goes to
that they got off, and they apparently took the gunman down. Now, sometime in this gunfire exchange,
I'm not going to say the race of the gunman. It was a black guy.
A civilian on the street was struck by this gunfire, and we do not know the condition of that person right now. But the important thing to know...
Congratulations,
the guy,
you
he's
shot
funny.
A random guy on the street. Like, do we understand the level of evil we're dealing with? I know I'm playing it up a little bit here. I'm not handling this with the severity it deserves. And there's a reason for that. It's because this nonchalance you're sensing is the type of guy that's been here for like a dozen foiled Donald Trump assassination attempts because half the country is fucking crazy psychopaths and needs to get destroyed. Figuratively.
Not half of them, but it is an alarming
Figuratively
amount.
speaking, we need to obliterate half the country. All right, we
Figuratively,
have to
of course.
understand that leftist ideology is psychopathic by its very nature.
Is that the gunman who came up with the pistol and was taken down by the Secret Service, and we don't know his condition right now, but he never got inside the perimeter of the White House. And this is according to a senior administrator.
Loser! This is like Alex Preddy dying to ICE agents, trying to protect pedophiles. Or Renee Good. You know, her lesbian Karen bitch wife told her to run over an ICE agent, and she found out. Listen, man, I'm not going to sit here and feel bad for the fact that we literally have like 10% of the population of drooling psychopathic troglodytes trying to kill the president and like random ICE agents all the time because the media convinced them that orange man bad. You know, honestly, like these fuckers, like minus one Democrat voter, I guess. You know, like, what am I supposed to cry about it?
Administration official with direct knowledge of what went down at the White House this afternoon. This was right around 6 o'clock Eastern time.
So, Chad, so if I'm hearing what you said correctly, this was somebody who was just firing in the direction of the White House?
I cannot stand Tommy Lauren. I don't know how this bitch keeps getting work. She's literally the worst, but let's continue.
The worst assassin of all time. I already
She looks drunk.
Calling it a false flag, yes. I'm sure Donald Trump paid a deranged Democrat voting black dude to fire bullets
Of course.
randomly at the White House and hit a civilian, only to die, all right, to get eliminated by Secret Service agents. I am sure that the black guy was like, fuck yes, Mr. President, I love this idea, and now he's dead. Definitely all part of the plan.
It was
Staged.
something that the Secret Service obviously perceived as a threat. Obviously.
No fucking shit. No, duh. All right, look at this.
Service.
Bro.
I'm just going to read this statement. We just have a statement from the Secret Service.
All right. What's the statement?
Who has updated that the suspect has died, according to the Secret Service. I'm just going to read this statement.
Rip bozo. That's
Yes.
right. Rotten shit. Dumb fuck. He shoots a random civilian, tries to kill my president. Get the fuck
Tries to
outta
kill
here.
my
We have
president.
not seen this, by the way. For everyone screaming about how Trump's rhetoric is violent and MAGA people are Nazis and shit like that, you just don't see this on the other side. You know, like about a year ago, all right, I was doing like this whole meme about how it's both sides. Right? It's both sides are violent because it like happens 100 times from leftists and like 2 times from people on the right, and it's like it's both sides, right? And but it's not. It's not both sides. Very obviously, I feel like that discussion is gone at this point because the left just lies, right? They use words as weapons. There's nothing that they could actually say that's going to convince me to believe that it's both sides. The amount of fake statistics they'll pull out of their ass, and be like, oh, but according to the ADL. According to the ADL, it's all right-wing violence. I actually don't give a fuck. Right? According to
according to people
Trump
who
supporters that keep trying to kill Trump. Yeah, that holds water.
are hugely corrupt
so
and
the
leftist.
reality is, I actually don't give a fuck about their opinions or their arguments because they're wrong and they're lies and they know it. And we're just not getting manipulated by that shit anymore.
They say shortly after 6 p.m. Saturday, an individual approached a Secret Service checkpoint in the area of 17th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest.
And then the CIA agent found him in his sights, said, Shabbat Shalom, motherfucker, and took him out. And that's just what happened. Anna Paulina Luna says, we just learned about the horrific plot to assassinate Ivanka Trump, a devoted white daughter, mother, and I was like, what? Holy flipperoony. Are you telling me that this guy that was shooting bullets at the White House was trying to assassinate Ivanka Trump, the daughter of the Donald? Nope. Actually, that was a different assassination attempt.
That girl.
Actually, there were 2 assassination attempts at
Hold
the
on.
same time.
Hold on.
Donald?
Did
Nope.
this girl
Actually, that
has
was
the
a
worst
different
reaction
assassination
ever.
attempt. Actually, there were 2 assassination attempts at the
I hope
same
he
time
shows
in
it by the
different
end of this.
places.
Otherwise, I'll play it
I know
myself.
I'm laughing because otherwise I would cry, and those are the options.
Trump was allegedly the target of an assassination plot by a suspected terrorist who was a member of the Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps.
Bomb them. Send them back to the Stone Age. Don't fucking care. Listen, I'm a simple man. You do not do this shit. But Nux, you're a hypocrite because you support Trump killing them. Yes, I do support Trump killing the bad guys and not the bad guys killing us. If you consider that hypocrisy, well, then you could go to Target, all right, and call someone that works there to unlock the underwear drawer so that you can walk out with some underwear because we're living in such an advanced society. So this, for the record, those of you paying attention, is the third foiled Iranian assassination attempt on our soil. 2 against Donald Trump, 1 against Ivanka Trump. Okay, understand what we're dealing with here. So when everyone's like, but I don't understand why.
Look, how funny would it be? Like, I don't know this, like, anything about her other than she's Trump and Ivana Trump's daughter. But how funny would it be if she turned around and then all of a sudden became the first female president under a Republican banner? I think it'd be funny. I mean, but, you know, just kind of like funny. Ha-ha.
We're fighting the barbarians. The barbarians keep trying to kill us. Now, I know the argument that you're already making. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it unfold in your mind. But we stop those because we have good Secret Service. Yeah, we have good Secret Service, and they're fucking retards. Inbred Islamic retards. They rape their little cousins and sheep. At the same time, they don't even know what they're raping, all right? But they're just going along, doing their thing, and we're going to kill them, actually, and it's awesome. But anyway, we'll get to the peace deal in just a minute. But first, we have to understand exactly what's going on our soil, because this is fucking crazy.
The trained Iraqi national who was taken into custody last week allegedly made a pledge to kill Ivanka and had a blueprint of her Florida home. This was in response to the killing of Iranian military chief Qasem Soleimani.
Yes, we killed a terrorist that killed tons of Americans, and now this is just the blowback that we just have to expect, according to Hassan Piker and Mehdi Hassan and all these other Islamist talking heads on our media. For some reason, they're in our country. All right, these motherfuckers are going to sit there and be like, oh, this is just blowback. We killed a terrorist that's trying to kill us, and now, of course, 1 billion Muslims, 1 is dead. It makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. All right, anyway, I'm going to crash out.
A source telling the New York Post that the suspect said this, quote, "We need to kill Ivanka to burn down the house of Trump the way he burned down our house." According to
you failed. Now you're in jail. You're going to rot there forever.
Have
you're
fun.
also not going to be bringing back Soleimani, that retard who's dead.
DOJ, the terror suspect, has been behind attacks on multiple U.S. and Jewish targets. He was arrested and brought to the U.S. to face multiple terrorism-related charges.
Oh, huge W, guys. This guy was trying to kill Jews and kill Americans and kill Ivanka Trump, and now we've finally decided, you know what, maybe we should get rid of him. Colossal W, Secret Service. I'm really glad you guys are on top of this.
Common viewer. So, sorry, Nuxtaku, so much for the slow news days. Okay, guys, I'm going on vacation. God says, we'll see about that. Elon Musk supports Hassan Piker. Not exactly true, but kind of. And then regular viewer, Yanuka, says, yeah, maybe he should go on more vacations, which I don't agree with, but at the same time, this always happens every time he decides to take a few days off to do family or whatever. So much news. I mean, we get a lot of news anyway, but it had been like a slow news week, so he's like, I'll take 3 days off. And then, boom.
You know, it's insane that we have to make believe that this culture is even remotely assimilatable into ours. You know,
shout out to
That's a
Yanuka
discussion for another time. Anyway, in the greatest footage of the entire assassination attempt has to be this one. This is the reporter with the survival instincts of a lemming.
She really does. Like, and this is why people, honestly, oh shit, I thought that was my mouse cursor. Like, this is how you could tell. She's never been in the military and never grew up never been in a tough neighborhood. Like, pretty much every neighborhood I've ever lived in, you hear either gunshots or quote unquote truck backfires. And this person's just like, what is that? Let me stand here as tall as I can, leaning out, making my silhouette as big as I can. What is that? Girl, get down. Or at least, you know, squat. Just be like, it'll pass. I'm not saying freak out, but, you know, get behind something. Hopefully on the right side of it.
What is that?
What? Oh my God. What is that? Is that like a bunch of cars rapid backfiring?
That's 30 fucking gunshots, you complete dipshit retard. I'm telling you, these people have gone through nothing in their life. Nothing. And they're upset about goy slop, bro. What is even that? today, but this obviously comes.
That face, he's like, oh my God, how inconvenient.
But leftists are something fall. Yeah. Unless you have your own stealth bombers, maybe it's a bad idea to plot to murder the president's daughter. That's just my opinion. That's what we're going away with on this one. That's just what I have to say. Now, the peaceful left has also done this, which for some reason is barely being reported anywhere.
This is horrible.
The wife of the elderly, and I'll just this is a nightmare. So as you can see,
look, and I'm a sign during an election year, sure, an American flag. Of course. But this dude's yard was loud. Do I personally care? I mean, it's cringe. However, ripping it to shreds and beating the guy who lives there to death, I mean, come on, man. Like, it's beyond the point. This kind of thing's been going on for years. People running over signs and hilariously... And you got to hand it to some of these Republicans who did set traps on their signs so that people would blow out tires or run into something solid or one of 100 hilarious things. And then we get this. Was the guy's yard very cringe? Extremely. However, two things can be true at the same time. That does not give you the right to tear up his yard and just throw it on the ground, littering. Come on. Not cool. And beating the dude to death. The hell's wrong with you?
there was also some big struggle over here. The wife of the elderly Trump House owner who was attacked in California says her husband is not expected to survive.
I mean, he's an old man.
No hope for her husband. Carrie
Why would you
was
do
beaten
this?
outside his home because he's a Trump supporter. Sharon, a 69-year-old Army veteran, is known as Escondido area for all the Trump and USA flags he had at his home. His wife says that he was targeted for his displays. He was beaten and seemingly beaten to death. But we just have to... But that's not left-wing violence, guys. Didn't you know it's both sides? Are you not familiar with how it's both sides? He said a thing, and now the left kills him. And all the left, they'll all celebrate this, too. Right, it's not like when you have some deranged, retarded right-wing guy committing violence and all the right comes together to condemn it immediately. Here you have, like, the whole left supporting this shit. They love
Which
it.
is exactly what
Now,
happens.
Donald Trump-
Anytime there's any, which it doesn't happen that often, but when it does, the entire right wing, minus one or two, like, lunatics, mostly people on X with accounts like mine with no face, praising that. But that's very, very few and far between, and mostly just freaking, trolls online. But the left, they praise that shit. You got people not being banned for singing its praise on TikTok and Facebook and X and YouTube and...
Trump had a very busy day, making a peace deal with Iran, people trying to kill him, people trying to assassinate his daughter, classic stuff. But I guess that's just life if you're the Donald. All right, while I very much wanted to be with my son, Don Jr., and the newest member of the Trump family, his soon-to-be wife, Bettina, circumstances pertaining to the government and my love for the United States of America do not allow me to do so. I mean, it is more important for me to remain in Washington, D.C. at the White House during this important period of time. Congrats to Don and Bettina, President Donald J. Trump. And honestly, makes a lot of sense. If I was Donald, people tried to assassinate him and his daughter, and he's middle of a peace deal with Iran, and people are trying to assassinate him all over the place. I get it. Bro's a busy man. And this also is going to be my excuse moving forward whenever I can't attend family gatherings. I could just be like, unfortunately, my love for the United States is too important for me to attend. I'm going to try that one. We'll see how that works. Now, of course, we got these guys. Missing your son's wedding to attend a staged assassination attempt is crazy work. It's crazy work. Can you please deport Mr. Hakimian over here? Can we get these people out of here? We got to get these people out of here, man. We can't tolerate this shit, man. It's crazy. They just really want someone to kill the president. They just desperately want someone to do it. And they're so upfront about it. I guess I could appreciate their honesty that they want someone to kill the president, but that's pretty fucked up. Now, in breaking news in this circle, before we get to the Iran stuff, Tulsi Gabbard is stepping down. For the record, I actually am kind of happy about that. I'm not happy about the reasons for it, but I'm kind of happy.
Look, I am and I'm not. It looks really good that she is at least the most pursuant, we'll say, female in Trump's administration. She did the most. That being said, she didn't do enough. Also, she's a former Democrat. Looks good. Not that it mattered a whole lot, but I like Tulsi. I really do. I wanted her to be president in 2020, or at least run on the left side. That way there could be some kind of normalcy. But unfortunately, she took out Kamala Harris, and in doing so, the DNC took her out for ripping their golden child. And then she ended up running again in 2024 anyway. Like, if you're paying attention, you can kind of see what the machine, quote unquote, is doing.
It's happening all in all. I think she wasn't doing.
I mean, I'm saying,
in my personal opinion.
no, she wasn't.
Donald Trump has to stop electing women. What can I say? I'm deeply grateful for the trust the president placed for me, opportunity to lead the director of national as the director of national intelligence for the last year and a half. Unfortunately, she has to submit her resignation. My husband Abraham was recently diagnosed with an extremely rare form of bone cancer. And honestly, I'm praying for this guy. I'm praying for Abraham. I really hope he can pull through, and I think it's really good of her to step down for such a noble reason. Honestly, it's heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking news, and I hope it works out for the best for everybody.
Real quick, McDonald's, what are you doing? This is McDonald's official account. Black trans women have a very simple message: stop killing us.
Expect others to care about us more than we care about ourselves. We're all free, or none of us is.
That's straight from Lawrence Filet of Fishburne. I hope he'll be okay. No, I 100% hope that Tulsi Gabbard's husband is okay, and I hope that she can return and start fighting the good fight again, preferably within this administration or the next administration, regardless of what side it is, right wing.
Now, of course, you don't hate the media enough, right? So this is the actual news. Tulsi Gabbard resigned her position, director of national intelligence, so she could support her husband.
That white hair streak looking like Netflix cast rogue.
All right, it's huge props to her for actually going ahead and doing this, and prayers for her whole family, honestly. Now, this is how the media is covering it. Forbes: Tulsi Gabbard resigns as director of national intelligence after contradicting Trump on Iran war. No, it's because her husband has cancer. You vile fucks. All right, Congressman Sharif Anader, who we need to deport immediately. This guy's fucking retarded. Doesn't even speak English.
Yeah, he's like the little guy from.
Good riddance. The Iran war is the biggest display of intelligence and competence in decades. This guy is literally a fucking idiot. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm kidding. There's some good Indians. I'm obviously, bro. You get them a shower and they're like. They're fucking awesome. They're like unstoppable people at that point. Unlike this guy. This guy's a dog abusing retard. We got.
Also true. Plus, pretty much, and not all, but Indians are the people I've met who have the highest frequency of people who are horrendously fucking racist against all races that aren't them. It's odd. Like, Indians are literally what other races see white people or white Karens as.
We gotta get him out.
Your fillet of McDonald's is your fillet of fish. Identify as McNuggets. Yeah, Yanuga, you're funny, man.
Bro, we gotta deport these motherfuckers immediately. I don't know why I'm crashing out today. But the point is, she's resigning because her husband has cancer.
I am.
You fucking ghoul. You troglodyte! This is insane. Her husband has bone cancer. You worthless piece of shit. Oh my god! Not only is he a worthless piece of shit, but he's also Indian. Literally, God decided to smite this guy twice. That was a joke. It's some racist comedy to get the edge off of the fact that we're talking about goat fucking pedophiles getting obliterated in the Middle East. All right. So this is the tweet that brought the House down. I am in the Oval Office at the White House where I had a very good call with. President Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan of United Arab Emirates, Emir Tamim bin Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani, Prime Minister Mohammed bin Abdul bin Tawadi of Qatar, Field Marshal Saeed Asi Munir Ahmad Shah, Pakistan, President Raif Erdogan of Turkey, President Abdel Fattah El Sisi of Egypt, King Abdullah II of Jordan, King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa of Bahrain. All right, so bro spoke to literally fucking everybody concerning the Islamic Republic of Iran and all things related to the memorandum and the understanding to peace. An agreement that has been largely negotiated subject to finalization between the United States of America, the Islamic Republic of Iran, and the various countries as listed. Separately, I had a call with Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu, Big Yahoo they call him, of Israel, which likewise went very well. Final aspects and details of the deal are currently being discussed and will be announced shortly. In addition to many other elements to the agreement, the Strait of Hormuz will be open. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald J. Trump. So it looks like they basically did come up with some sort of deal and a massive unity among the Middle Eastern countries that we've never really seen before. Now, of course, the neocons, they did not like this at all. They want Trump.
Ted Cruz.
To obliterate the Islamic regime. And you know what? I do too. I do too. But I'm going to read you what they had to say, and then we'll get into my stance on all this, my analysis, all right? Because shockingly, this blue retard on the internet, this guy's been pretty correct about basically everything throughout the entire course of this war. You know, between the memes and the racism, I'm actually kind of on point. So Ted Cruz says, I'm deeply concerned about what I'm hearing about a deal being pushed by some of the voices in the administration. President Trump's decision to strike Iran was the most consequential decision of his second term. He was right to do so. We achieved extraordinary military results, including destroying all the missiles and drones, sinking their
Agreed.
Navy. All right,
100%.
if the result of that is to be an Iranian regime still run by Islamists who chant death to America, now receiving billions of dollars, being able to enrich uranium, develop nuclear weapons, and having effective control of the Strait of Hormuz,
None of that will
would be
happen.
a disastrous mistake. Anyway, he keeps going.
I agree with this.
This deal could be a mistake. We can't make a deal. All right, then we got Lindsey Graham, another one of these
Oh,
warmonger
God.
dudes.
You remember when he was just like the nice little quiet guy who got along with both sides? You remember that before Trump came into office? I remember. And what's most important is Pepperidge Farm remembers.
If a deal was struck to end the Iran conflict, because it is believed that the Strait of Hormuz cannot be protected from Iranian terrorism, and Iran still possesses the capability to destroy major Gulf oil infrastructure, then Iran will be perceived as a dominant force, requiring diplomatic solution. Combination of Iran being
I swear it sounded like he
ability
said
to terrorize the
diplomatic.
Strait in perpetuity, along with the ability to inflict massive damage to the Gulf oil infrastructure, is a major shift in the balance of power in the region and will become a nightmare for Israel. Also, it will wonder why the war started to begin with. These perceptions are accurate. Personally, I'm a skeptic of the idea that Iran cannot be denied its ability to terrorize the Strait, and the region cannot be protected itself against the Iran military capability. It's important to get this right. So basically, I can keep going because a lot of people had like these giant crash outs. The Donald doesn't know what he's doing. He wants to make a deal. They're terrorists. They don't honor deals. They're bad people. They rape goats, Mr. President.
Again, one of two things. I want the fighting to stop. I want gas prices to come down. But I really think that these peace agreements are just ways for him, Donald Trump, to try to prove that there can be no peace with this regime. It's just how it is. They're much more out in the open right now. And for some reason, you can't make it up. Hard lefties, people I used to consider my peers and my friends, are into it. They're down with the regime because they're against Trump. I've never understood the kind of things that people will come out as okay with just because Trump doesn't like it.
Crying out loud. And before I tell you my stance, I have to show you what Rubio said. Rubio
Look at
said
them
something
ears.
that Donald Trump doubled down, and then I'll tell you my stance and my analysis on the whole thing, because I think all these people are really just crashing the fuck out.
No one who has been stronger on this issue than President Trump. Okay. Multiple political leaders, multiple presidents of the United States have all said the same thing. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. The only one who's tried to do anything and has actually done anything about it in a real way has been President Trump. So his commitment to that principle that they'll never have a nuclear weapon shouldn't be questioned by anybody. And the idea that somehow this president, given everything he's already proven he's willing to do, is going to somehow agree to a deal that ultimately winds up putting Iran in a stronger position when it comes to nuclear ambitions is absurd. That's just not going to happen. But
That's
our
right.
preference is to address this through a diplomatic means. And that's what we're endeavoring to do here. I think we've made some progress. I'm always cautious when I say that because you can agree to things on paper, they actually have to be implemented.
That's
you
true.
can agree to things in writing, and then you actually have to go out and do it.
I think personally,
And,
they should be forced to release an apology video before the deal. They have to go up there in all their mullah clothes and give like this big long-winded apology
Like,
video.
we are very
for,
sorry.
offending the United States of America. That's my opinion. But anyway,
I do think perhaps there is the possibility that over the next few hours, the world will get some good news, at least with regards to the Straits and with regards to a process that can ultimately leave us where the president wants us to be, and that is a world that no longer has to be in fear.
yep. And I think one of the things Trump has been playing for the entire time is to actually get all of the actual enriched uranium that's already there. And that will be part of the deal. If it happens, you'll see. Donald Trump doubles down. You know, one of the worst deals ever made by our country was the Iran nuclear deal put forth by the existence of Barack Hussein Obama and the rake amateurs.
I don't know why he always uses his full name.
The direct path to Iran developing a nuclear weapon. Not so with the transaction currently being negotiated with the Iran by the Trump administration. The exact opposite, in fact. The negotiators are proceeding in an orderly and constructive manner. I have informed my representatives not to rush their deal, and that time is on our side. The blockade will remain in full force and effect until an agreement is reached, certified, and signed. Both sides must take their time and get it right. There can be no mistakes. Our relationship with Iran is becoming a much more professional and productive one. They must understand, however, that they cannot develop or procure a nuclear weapon or bomb. I would like to thank thus far all the countries in the Middle East for their support and cooperation, which will be further enhanced and strengthened. And strengthened, he's including. Enhanced and strengthened by all sorts of shit. The gay Ayatollah will be no more, and it will be strengthened by their joining the nations of the historic Abraham Accords, and who knows, maybe the Islamic Republic of Iran would like to join as well. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. This is something that no one expected. The Abraham Accords is like this alliance between all of like the Arab and Israel, the Arab countries and Israel and the Middle East and stuff. No one expected or expects at all Iran to join whatsoever. Iran is like an actual fascist, horrifying, monstrous dictatorship. They've been slaughtering their own people, slaughtering everyone else's people, bombing the shit out of everybody. The chances of this actually happening under the current Islamic rule is super freaking unlikely, which is a little shocking why he's bringing this up altogether, because he knows this. Donald Trump knows this very well. And the Donald decided he was going to drop another one.
I just spoke with President Trump about this and asked if he has secured an agreement. He told me he couldn't talk about the deal, saying, quote, "It's totally up to me," and that if there is news, quote, "It's only going to be good news. I don't make bad deals."
And honestly, that is kind of one of the major points I really wanted to home in on. You know, while he's talking about making a deal, he's dropping these very same memes, blowing the fuck out of them, dropping adios, bombing the shit out of them with like little AI-generated posts. And the reality is, Trump is a incredibly unpredictable man.
He really
he's
is.
Also an incredibly good deal maker. All right.
Also
the Donald
true.
really wins almost every single deal that actually gets presented to him, and that is the reality. And the truth of the matter is, I said this before when we started this war, and I'm going to say it again now. I am going to reserve my judgment until the shit gets wrapped up. I am not going to be one of the retards that just jumps and claps my hands every single time he makes a tweet, expecting the tweet to be the exact reality and not some sort of
100%.
5D chess.
Hold on, it's the American Memorial Day today. Make sure to share respect. No, of course. I mean, I said it at the beginning at the top of the show, and I do as a veteran myself. Yeah, I'm always the one that people have to say, what's Memorial Day and which one's Labor Day? Memorial Day's at the beginning of summer, Labor Day's at the end of summer. But that's literally it. As far as which one's which. Memorial Day, we remember the fallen, whether they fell overseas or fell when we got back because they couldn't cope with anything that happened or the changes that occurred while they were gone. Labor Day, I'm not 100% sure. And then Veterans Day is, of course, where you celebrate the ones that are still here who have fought or signed up to for the potentiality of fighting in the future. I mean, that's where you celebrate the living, and the Memorial Day is where you celebrate the fallen. That's it. Nothing celebrates it better than free dinner at Golden Corral, which actually isn't that bad if you have one near enough to you that's within 15 minutes. I would say sure, but if it's longer than 15 minutes, just stay at home. Order in. But like I said, I never know what to say when people thank me for my service, because it always happens at a weird time. My parents, when I was in, used to like try to get deals when they would go out with me. Be like, "Wear your uniform." No, I'm not doing that. But the haircut always gave it away. if you're a guy. If you're a girl, they let you do whatever you want. So it doesn't really. But so they would be like, "Thank you for your service," and I'm like, "Just thank you for yours, man. Dude, your refills are on point. Like you're here every time. I'm at my last sip, ready to grab it. Like I appreciate it. I don't mean to demean my fellow veterans or those who have fallen. It's just an awkward situation. Like I mean, I took great pride in everything, but I'm not like a flashy kind of guy. I am over the top, but like I said, I don't like to use my over the topness to get over or to. I don't know. I'm different than a lot of people, but I know a lot of veterans that share my position on that. So anyway, happy Memorial Day again to everyone else in America. Which is weird to say happy Memorial Day, but just remember those who have fallen, whether it was in the defense or those who couldn't cope with things they saw downrange or how life had changed since they've been back. And those hit just as hard, if not harder, because it's always tragic when one of your buddies or someone you had a lot of respect for or someone you just knew or just knowing that someone besides you was gone. If you're in the Cav, went to Fiddler's Green. And then, God, I lost more buddies on this side of things. One of the few, I won't say their names, just because. I mean, it'll definitely for those that don't know, it'll definitely show my identity. But I had a really awesome platoon sergeant. We would just talk about South Park all the time. He wasn't my platoon sergeant. I really, really wanted him to be. So a little story: when you're in the military, you joke with each other, and a lot of it turns racial. And I was, as a hard lefty at the time, I was really, really uncomfortable. Like I was only here to see how white Republicans operated. And when I got in, I found that the Army was way more diverse than common day America. A lot of black people, a lot of Hispanic people, surprising amount of Asian people, and a lot of the white folk were on the left or in the middle, or slightly left-leaning like me. And it was the only time I ever had friends where it was like TV, like you have barbecues, and I really, really miss that. Like I was lucky enough once that it was in my neighborhood or at the barracks, but at the same time, God, I miss the camaraderie. And while we weren't the best of friends, it was, and guys, I mean this for those of you who are out there watching or who will watch this. It meant more to me than I could ever express. For the guys that took care of things when I left my final duty station, your contributions to my life are incalculable. For the ones that hung out with me, who include those two, the same. And we made fun of each other a lot on a racial level. And like I said, as that hardcore lefty that I was, I was horribly uncomfortable with it. And it was, my black, my Muslim, my Asian, my Hispanic friends who told me that it was okay, that we were all equal in this. And after a lot of alcohol, I finally got into it. And I miss that. I do. And I know when I left, the military changed forever. It's part of why I had to leave. And I was like, the real world can't be like this. And the real world was even worse. I got out at the end of 2014, and there was a little bit of time, like 6 months to a year of just normalcy. And then TDS kicked in, and I started watching things like, Shoe on Head and Armored Skeptic and Bearing and Chris Raygun and all the old school SJWs. I think Mudahar was in there, even though now he's more of a lefty, so name's Chris Raygun. Shoe on Head's a commie mommy, but she's married to, I think, a Republican politician, if I'm not mistaken.
Play. And so far,
and then Armored Skeptic went back. Armored Skeptic went back to doing skeptic videos, which I try to watch as much as I can. He's very in depth. I'll probably do if I really want to do some of those on special edition shows, but or if I get it to the point where I can do this for a living, I'll probably watch it on more long form things like Nux here and Asmongold do.
Every single time. I voted for this man a whole lot of fucking times. I did, and I do trust him. And ultimately, I do expect him to actually make the right decision at the end. I could be wrong. I could be right. Who knows? Not me, that's for sure, because I can't see the future. Although, if I do hone in on my inner Nuxtradamus, I do have to say I think that the news will be good, because we have absolutely militarily and economically obliterated these motherfuckers. Donald understands that he actually does have a vice grip on this war. He has all the cards, and if a deal is made, I expect
you don't
it to
have
be
the
a really
cards.
fucking good one. When Trump started his war and everyone backstabbed him, saying it's going to be a forever war, boots on the ground, regime change,
That's
infinite
stupid.
losses, we're going to lose thousands of soldiers type of shit. I immediately called them out as complete retards. I ended up being correct. They were all wrong. Trump never put boots on the ground. We did not have a gigantic regime change war, losing thousands of soldiers, thank God. I was right. They were wrong. And now I'm going to call out these guys. All these guys that don't have faith in the president of the United States that actually put his balls on the table and obliterated the Islamic Republic. All right, now all these guys are going to crash out that Donald Trump is going to make a deal. He's a pussy. He's a pussy, really? The guy that did this thing to begin with? I'm sorry, man. I cannot deal with these immediate backstabbers on every side all the time. You guys fucking suck. You elected this man as your representative. He is the commander-in-chief. Give him a fucking breather. Holy shit. Judge him based on his actions, not judge him based on what you think his plans might be in the future. You holy shit, man. Zero balls, zero faith. He toppled Venezuela. Everyone said this was going to be World War III. He toppled Cuba's falling apart. Everyone said this was going to be World War III. All right, he toppled the Iranian shit or whatever the fuck he did there. We'll see how it actually wraps up. But everyone said it's going to be World War III. We
No,
got
it's not.
absolutely fantastic
I really don't think it is.
deals out of China because we cut off all their oil supplies and shit.
And people called Trump a cuck for that, which is something that I don't understand. Guys, real quick, my goal for the end of the year, I want to be bigger than all the Hassan Orbiters and Matt Jarbo, Mr. Mundane Matt himself. I want to have more views here and on X, both of these platforms, and then I'm also going to increase my Twitch. Again, I've neglected Twitch a whole lot. I posted my Saturday video over there. I'm gonna do better. But my goal is to be moderately relevant by the end of the year. If anyone has any suggestions, especially my more common 2 or 3 that come in here, I would very much love to hear it. You guys are my rocks, and it means the world to me. But yeah, that's I want to get my viewership up, and if I get up to that point, then I'll start. I'll get a place to where I can put the camera on, and you could see my hideous pasty white face. Maybe either that, or I'll get my VTuber avatar activated.
Through Venezuela and Iran, etc. Everyone said that was going to be a complete disaster and the tariffs were going to tank the economy, which they didn't. Every expert,
they absolutely
every
didn't.
speculator, every economist was fucking wrong.
Except
Donald
that one.
Plays the game with the cards held close to his chest. He doesn't want anyone to see that he has pocket aces. Just in the last 24 hours, Trump skips his own son's wedding. J.D. Vance and Hegseth race back to the White House. Chief of Staff is posting videos of B-2 bombers. Something massive is about to happen. What is going on? Well, we all would love to know the answer to that one. But I'll tell you one thing. This motherfucker is not going to sit there and panic. Let the man cook. One thing we could say for certain, -1 Democrat voter. A guy tried to kill Trump and got slimed on the way. -1 Democrat voter. And also the Islamic Republic in absolute shambles begging for a deal. Bro, this is the timeline. This is the timeline. This is just the timeline. You know what I'm saying? It's the timeline. Dr.
It's the
Strange
timeline.
found a universe this fucking wild. Now for the best news of the generation. Federal officials have served subpoenas to the Marxist political influencer Hassan Piker and Coach.
And people online are coping so hard for this. Oh, I guess you don't like free speech when it's other people. Not calling for violence or murder of your political opponents. No. Hassan Piker broke the law. And he even said that it was illegal a couple of years ago when he didn't do it the first time we talked about this.
Pink co-founder Susan Maldia Benjamin, as part of a wider investigation into whether U.S. organizations and leaders violated U.S. laws and sanctions by supporting Cuba's communist regime. Absolute cinema. Bro is literally 500,000% fucked. He is going to jail. It's happening. We're finally here. They
bring back the series, the legendary Hassan Piker is fuck series.
Massive day for the unemployed. Literally everyone was celebrating when we heard this news. Hell yes. We have a lot of performative activist L's that we need to talk about. And I honestly am super excited too, because this is the greatest fucking shit in the universe. Now, this is one of those stories that gets better and better the more you actually research. So, you know, Hassan Piker subpoenaed by the feds for activities in Cuba. Absolute cinema. For those of you that are unaware, Hassan Piker and all of his performative activist buddies, they all went to Cuba to protest and be like, no, I hate that the communist regime is falling apart. We need them to keep oppressing, starving, and censoring their citizens who are crying for help. Yes. Huge W. The Cartier communist, Hassan Piker, decided to abdicate.
It's communist with a Gucci bag.
Come down to the mere mortals. Where him and a bunch of other retard terrorist supporter celebrities decided to all go to Cuba and lick the balls of communist dictators. You know, classic leftist bullshit shenanigans. Am I right? So, of course, we got some people on the left be like, oh, they just created 1 million Hassan Pikers. So here's a visualization of 1 million Hassan Pikers.
It's perfect.
Colossal W everywhere. 1 million Hassan Pikers.
1 million Brian Griffins.
Truly fantastic stuff. Now, Hassan Piker is wondering, why are all the people coming after him now? He was literally such a good guy, and all of a sudden, everyone is coming to destroy him.
Oh, it's Israel. Is it Israel?
From his stream yesterday, and I'm not even kidding you. It's the most quintessential Hassan Piker response you might ever see in your life.
Because I do want to fucking do this, if given the option. I would love to fucking duke it out on Israeli television. Oh my god.
No one in Israel knows who you are, bro.
Not that Tucker Carlson gives a shit.
Except for maybe Yanuka.
Bro, by the way, I mean, look.
Like, let me ask, question to the chat. Yanuka, other than listening to Lord Nuxanor and other similar people on YouTube, does anyone in Israel know who Hassan Piker is? Like, honestly, like any common man. Probably not. Probably less than Americans do.
Get ready.
Speaking of, like...
And I will eat crow if you say otherwise.
The level of rent-free that this following clip is about to be.
I might have more name recognition in Israel than I do in America at this point. I'm not...
Bro, no one in Israel knows who you are, little bro.
Yeah, is that true?
Killing terrorists.
I'm not even joking when I say this. Like, look, this is from the Times of Israel. Chris Rabb won Pennsylvania 3rd. Times of Israel's article title is Anti-Israel Democrat backed by AOC and Hassan Piker wins nomination for U.S. House in Pennsylvania. Bro.
Exactly.
Kayagate happened on...
See, in the chat, Unica says, one friend that I talked to about it. That's it. Like, completely understandable. Like, I know people who know of Hassan Piker. I know people who knew him before he was on Fox News. I know old school libs who are now centrist or even Republicans who used to know him from watching the Young Turks and thought he was the cringiest person on there. He's basically started off as just PC principal, but with a little tinge of, Middle Eastern-y.
On October 7th.
Kayagate, for the record, is where people realized he was electrocuting his dog. You know, because he's a dog-abusing piece of shit. You know, classic. You know, it's a funny coincidence that, like, on the one side, he supports rapist, pedophile, terrorists. And then on the other side, he also abuses little animals. You know, it's pretty interesting how the same guy could have literally all the bad traits.
It was in the Israeli news.
That's right.
They covered it on Israeli news.
Yeah. On Israeli news, they were making fun of you for electrocuting your dog. Based Israeli news. Let's go.
On October 7. Not October 7,
shit.
2023, of course, but
Okay.
October 7, 2025.
Okay.
Think
so
about
2 years after Hamas terror attack. Yeah.
about that.
Okay, I'm thinking.
Bro, they're writing nonstop.
Think about that, everybody. That's right.
Yanuka says, usually when I talk about him, I say another dumb anti-Israel activist said or did this. Yeah, and we have there's no shortage on the supply of those here in America. And pretty much, I would say half of the whole left platform is anti-Israel, which is super weird when they try to call out the right for attacks on Israelis, even though, while technically a religious group, yes, but most Islamists are of the left because it's the best way to conquer via the 100-year plan.
Think about that. Think about that. It was on October 7th, 2025, that Israel reported on the fact that I was electrocuting my dog.
Yeah. It was
Hassan
because
is
of
blaming
October
Israel and the
7th.
Jews for him shocking his dog. God, he's so gay. It's unbelievable. He is so fucking gay. It's crazy. Now, so of course, this is his reaction to the news of federal officials giving him a subpoena for committing treason, basically. The American government would rather try to criminalize delivering aid to a country we've starved than punish the Epstein class. Oh my god. First of all, anyone that says the term Epstein class is probably retarded.
Yeah.
Second of all, they're literally
because there are more people in the quote-unquote Epstein class on the left than there is on the right. Greta Thunberg is very known by Israelis. No, and I imagine she would be, considering she's tried to invade or tried to go through your blockade or had other people do it, because I don't think she was on the last one or two. How many times? What is this, like 6, 7 times now? She's absolutely insane, and all they won't. The first time they found a little bit of aid, not enough to really facilitate or make necessary the shenanigans, and then after that, all they found was like drugs and condoms. Like it's all grandstanding. It's a bunch of people living off of mommy or daddy's money, and just bored people without jobs who don't have to worry about bills, doing the most they can with the least amount of results. Nothing they're going to do is going to change anything, because they're fighting things that aren't happening. The pretendicide is not happening. And then even look, do I think global warming is real? Yes, the Earth changes its whole thing so many times, but the Earth will just correct itself and suck us back in, basically. It will correct, it will cause all kinds of global atrocities, and it will start over until the day comes to where the Earth is just no more. It's lived out its entire lifespan. However, we try to make the Earth better for future generations, so we can run as many generations on this Earth as we can, so maybe we can get to the next phase in evolution, or whatever you want to call it, okay? Get to the final frontier of space. Something. That's what we're going for. However, we're making us go extinct by completely ripping out fossil fuels from underneath us, when we've got like a 50 years, like structural plan just based on fossil fuels. I can't remember what they actually call it. Instead of actually finding a fully sustainable, less harmful long-term method, because the batteries that they use to store all the power from solar and wind are horrible for the environment, especially the immediate environment. So we need to find better ways. Okay, solar is great. I think that all shingles, okay, should be solar panels. I think that they should do the thing where all carports have solar panels for roofs, so on and so forth, and make them as cheap and efficient as possible so that they can be replaced easily and as cheaply as regular shingles, roofs, whatever. Yeah. To reduce our footprint or whatever. But at the same time, man, we have to figure something else out, okay? I don't care what it is. If we have to go back to nuclear or whatever it is, in the chat, a lot of people were inspired by her pre-October 7th and started investing on ecology-friendly technology. No. Look. Again, I think that we should do things cleaner. People shouldn't litter. People should take care of things around them, of the earth, so on and so forth. And that's one of the things that'll always keep me just a little bit on the left, is that I do believe that there is something that needs to be done. We need to take care of the earth that sustains us. At the same time, we have to survive. We have to. We have to repopulate, okay? And we have to keep our traditions alive. They live within us. And thanks to Americana, a lot of traditions come here to die. Because no one cares about European traditions. They don't. They don't. There are no European Americans. There are no African Americans, Asian Americans. They're just Americans. But we all come from somewhere, and it is important that we learn the histories of those places too, no matter which one we originate from. Mostly just because Asian history is very interesting. I think it's probably the most interesting, personally. But at the same time, it's all particularly pretty interesting. But anyway, continuing.
Starving because of communism. They're starving because the elites in that country are starving their own people. The people on the top of the communist hierarchy are literally starving the civilians. They have billions of dollars that they are not distributing to the poor, because this idea of just in communism the wealth is just distributed equally by everyone. It's not. It's literally not, because you always need an oppressive ruling class, and those guys are keeping the billions. So yes, the American government would, yes, indeed, not criminalize trying to deliver aid to a country. No. They're trying to criminalize American citizens committing acts of treason, aiding and abetting rival and adversarial communist regimes that we are basically at war with. All right? Then punish the Epstein class. Motherfucker, you are the Epstein class.
Yeah.
You are the Epstein class, dude. This is
He's been to Diddy parties.
To a brothel in Germany
and
that was raided for sex trafficking children. Okay? Okay? All right, let's be real here. This guy went to Diddy parties. All right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, this is just an image of Hassan Piker, saving Cuba. Anyway, Rep. Anna Paulina Luna, I have confirmed that this is true, and there are receipts. We are aware of multiple foreign influencer campaigns that are actively tracking both the intermediary companies receiving these funds as a pass-through of the influencers who are failing to disclose their compensation. We need far stricter disclosure laws for foreign influencer marketing ops. Dude, Hassan Piker is so fucked, it's crazy. Also, new collar patch notes. So the old collar was +2 shock damage. The current one is 3 fire damage. As you can see, they replaced the collar with this big, ominous red fucking button. A federal official subpoenaed political streamer Hassan Piker. Hey, Hassan. The reason why I wanted to show this to you is not only are people that don't like getting assassinated by Muslims, like me, who I'm not a fan of getting assassinated by Muslims personally, so that's why I'm super
it's one of my
happy
least
about
favorite
this, 'cause
things.
he supports the Muslim terrorists that all want me dead. But also, Colossal W, the liberals, like the center-left liberals, they're also fucking celebrating that Hassan Piker is going to roach hell.
But they would do the exact same thing. Democrats, if they were in charge right now, would be doing 100% the exact same thing, 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Make no fucking mistake. Anyone who tries to tell you that Kamala Harris would be different is a fucking delusional moron.
That's right. Hassan Piker refused to endorse Kamala Harris because he wanted someone even more far left. All right? So the liberals, the libtards, are eating him alive. This is literally absolute cinema. It's just the greatest thing ever. Now, for those of you unaware, we are currently engaged in some form of warfare with Cuba. All right, I covered this previously, so I'm not going to, tread ground already. I have a lot to do. Every day I cover all the things here on the channel. Definitely subscribe. All right, but Marcus Rubius, first of his name, next president of the United States,
yes,
arguably,
please,
dropped a 5-minute call to arms, basically telling the people of Cuba to rise up against the government, and we're here to help. He actually just went to Cuba. The CIA director just went to Cuba.
Really?
All right? I don't think people are aware of what's
I missed
going
that
on.
part.
This has over 6 million views. It seems like a big number. It seems like a lot, some would even say. But that's what we're seeing here on the thing. That's what we're seeing on the thing. Please, Trump, I'll do anything. I'll fucking suck your dick. You want me to eat your shit? I'll eat your fucking shit. Please, Mr. Trump. Oh, so Hassan Piker having a terrible day. Hassan tries to collab with Ashley St. Clair. This is like one of Elon Musk's exes, just trying to basically shit on him.
He's very good
just
at
like an
gathering the
disgusting human
crazies.
being, actually, it's pretty hilarious. Yeah. So like, obviously, he hooks up with her. He tries to release all of these private messages that Elon Musk sent to the public. He's just a gross fucking guy. It's actually crazy how disgusting and decrepit one guy could be. It really is. So AT&T is working with this guy, Burnt Peanut. He's like a big streamer. Hassan Piker crashes out because Burnt Peanut doesn't want to have anything to do with the dog's shocking terror supporter. And I'm reminded of when AT&T blacklisted me for participating in events they sponsored due to my Palestine Act advocacy. Palestine activism means support of terrorists raping, brutalizing, and murdering Jews. I hope you understand. He had literal Houthi terrorists on his stream. All right, just understand Palestine advocacy means advocating for the rape and murder of Jews and abduction. Just trying to put this into perspective what Palestine activism actually means these days.
Hey, speaking of Palestine activism, real quick, I'm just gonna put this in here. Shout out to people in the chat. But first, we'll get to Nazi hunters. Just a reminder that Greta Thunberg is Nazi scum who dreams to wipe out the Jewish nation and put up Hitler Mufti state instead. To which Abier said, I need a nonchalant response to "you are a Nazi scum." Clearly, English isn't Nazi Hunter's first language, okay? It happens. So sorry. To which Yanuka from the chat replied, you can reply with this, then write, not necessarily, I could be communist or Islamist. This is actually really, really good here. Like, yeah, pretty much. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Palestinians right there in the middle of this trifecta from hell here. That's this is very interesting. Between racism, fascism, and Nazism, there's Palestinianism right there. Very based, Yanuka. Very based.
Calling it Palestine activism won't change what you defended. This is a quote as shown on CNN. I'm telling you, man, the libtards are eating each other. It doesn't matter.
They'll eat each other.
October 7th. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me. The Palestinian resistance is not perfect. This is Hassan Piker's advocacy for Hamas terrorists to rape as many Jews as they can. Because look, it doesn't change the dynamic for him even one bit. Pretty awesome. And this is just apparent.
Just like those glasses that he doesn't use because he needs to see, but he wears as an accessory, which I'm sure costs like $2,000 at least.
Apparently, Palestine advocacy. The advocacy for Palestinians to rape as many Jews as they want. What do we want? You expect them to not rape? Please. That's what Mohammed would have done. We love it when Palestinians rape Jews. You want me to go against their teaching? You are so...
Sorry. He just tagged me and so I'm sorry. I just scrolled past this and I thought about tagging it. New edition by Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian. Everything I don't like is an Israeli conspiracy. A book for basic dickheads. New edition by Cenk Uygur. This engine is an Israeli conspiracy, which is basically what it is. Anything that gives me trouble, anything that I don't like or agree with, Israel. The Jews did it. Why did a lot of these same people, at least the regular liberals, why did they have such a problem when Mel Gibson had a drunken rant about this like 10, 15 years ago? Actually, it might have been 20 years ago now. Jesus. But now it's just like, oh, yeah, that's fairly based.
Islamophobic that you don't want Muslims to take Jewish sex slaves. Oh, shit. Islamophobia off the charts. Now, the crazy thing is, in Fox News' actual subpoena, in their article, they talk about how Hassan Piker was subpoenaed by the United States government. Fox News did this. Fox News Digital recently observed Piker outside his Los Angeles home escorting his dog Kaya outside the house for a bathroom break early one morning. Kaya, a large breed dog that is a mix of Tibetan Mastiff, Chow Chow, and St. Bernard, has been beloved subject of an online campaign dubbed Free Kaya. Over allegations, Piker trained Kaya with a shock collar that transmits painful stimuli as part of behavior training. At one moment, Piker silently stood over Kaya and gestured with a finger for her to return to the house after relieving herself. Later, Kaya was observed being walked and driven by a woman leaving Piker's home. The fact that we got...
Hold on. Hey, on this, I think he's trying to say wrapped, not essayed, Yanuka. When I was in the IDF, wrapped. So of course I did it too. It's just a normal thing. I didn't think I did anything wrong. The freestyles I enjoyed. I think I was maybe 14. He's making a pun on the fact that the words are just a letter off from each other. I'm pretty sure. I don't know who this is, the Jew protocols. I think he's making a joke that just didn't quite land. Just because it's more of a grammatical joke than anything else. But I think that's what he was going for there.
An entire Free Kaya paragraph, all right, about how this terrorist supporting motherfucker also shocks his dog. It's just absolute cinema. This is la crème de la crème. This is the cherry on top, man. From the front door to the tree, Kaya will be free. You know, Senator Rick Scott, by the way, the guy that Hassan Piker told his audience to murder. I don't know why he's not in jail, man. But he will be. Huge W. It'll happen. Right, so Senator Rick Scott ripped the communist Democrats who keep defending Cuba's regime. Bro, I feel like this is personal for him. It's crazy.
This is not somebody from World War II. This is somebody that in this year, okay, this is a picture from this year in Cuba. So when Democrats go down there and campaign for the regime, they're campaigning to do this to a human being.
I mean, to be fair, that's exactly what Hamas did to the, Jewish captives in Gaza. And Hassan Piker supported that. Why don't... Hassan Piker loves starving innocent people. It's like his favorite thing. He loves doing it. He loves...
I mean, just look at what he's doing. Well, I mean, he's not really starving. Froggen! But he is not paying her very well. To where she's using all of her money gathered from the lawsuit for Big Macs. Because she doesn't know any better.
He loves it. That's the only conclusion I can come to by the fact that he supports so many instances of starving innocent people. Crazy.
Alexander Diaz-Rodriguez is, I think, 45 years old. Look how old he looks in this. You know why? He was starved. He was tortured. He has cancer. They didn't give him treatment. That's the face.
Hassan Piker loves that, by the way. Hassan Piker's dream is not giving cancer treatment to people that don't like communism. Of course, Hassan Piker's favorite guy decided he was going to go do a live stream. All right, so this is the mayor of New York City doing a live stream on Twitch. He got 7,000 viewers and a lot of gigantic penises posted in his chat. You know.
Oh no, that was hilarious. Oh my God, is he actually showing it? Just don't look here.
Here's the crazy update. Speaking of activists finding out. Because as we've already mentioned, the Free Palestine movement is fucking retarded. They are.
Yes,
they really are.
100%.
It's honestly incredible how often they could sit there and make believe they're supporting these retards who keep losing wars that they start. And you'd think they'd learned their lesson. They start another war and lose that one too. And the Palestine movement goes fucking crazy again. You know, they're not going to support the Christians getting genocided in Nigeria or Sudan, the Somalilanders getting genocided by the Somalians. The 5 million people killed in the war between Rwanda and the Congo. You know, they're done with Ukraine. They don't care about that shit anymore. They don't care about the 650,000 people killed in Syria, the 377,000 people killed in Yemen. They don't care about any of that shit. Specifically, the retarded morons that keep starting wars and losing, those are the guys that these guys love so much. Though approximately 175 activists from more than 20 boats of the Condom Flotilla are making their way peacefully to Israel.
I love how that's what they call it now.
Greta Thunberg
It's such
keeps
a joke.
sending more flotillas to break into Israel. I guess they're going to free Palestine by sending a couple of homosexuals. Maybe they'll spread AIDS or something. Maybe that's their dream. So this is them on the Condom Flotilla. They call it that because they ended up figuring out that they basically have no aid on any of their aid convoys.
They might have AIDS,
Gigantic
but no
orgies
aid.
of homosexuals. It's pretty good stuff. Greta Thunberg, of course, crying about how Israel abducted the people.
The other day, Israel illegally intercepted over 20 boats,
illegal.
ships of the Global Summit Flotilla, and violently abducted almost 200 of the participants over 1,000 kilometers away from Gaza.
Let's go!
The majority of these were released and dropped off in Crete. after
W?
many had been.
So then they weren't abducted? They were just kind of deported based when they tried to invade their country illegally? God, I wish every country would do that to people that try to come into countries illegally.
Oh, yeah, if only.
Two of these still
Based
remain
Israel.
detained and were illegally brought to Israel, where it has been confirmed that they are now being tortured. And these
No, they
people
haven't.
are safe.
They haven't been.
Zero confirmation.
Yeah, there's no confirmation on that.
Listen, with Palestinian papers, and Tiago, a Brazilian citizen, they are being detained based on made-up accusations following
It's
their
not made up.
commitment to Palestinian liberation.
And besides that, if you try to go past any kind of blockade from any other country, they'll pretty much do whatever they want to you. The fact that these people get home completely safe, maybe get detained for some extra questions, and then upon acting a fool, may get a few light slams, they get off easy. If this was any other country, you would never hear from these people again. Let's just be honest.
Palestinian
Unless they were refugees from hostile countries.
Invading Israel illegally.
Solidarity with Palestine.
They have so much solidarity.
Oppressed people, and they are committed friends,
Going specifically to Europe,
comrades,
by the way.
fathers and sons, and we demand their immediate release. They are.
Charlie Kirk was all those things, and y'all thought this was funny.
Well, it's a good thing the Goblin got involved, because now Israel has nothing. What's Israel gonna do? What is Israel gonna do against the autistic Goblin troglodyte?
The autistic daughter of two activists, two
of course, Zoran
well-off
Maldonado feels the
activists.
need to condemn it because this is definitely important to New York affairs. Last night, Israeli forces intercepted and boarded a humanitarian aid flotilla bound for Gaza in international waters.
That's not what it was.
Unlawfully detaining more than 175 people. Actually, it's totally lawful. They were trying to invade a blockade. It's fucking lawful as shit. And first of all, I don't even care if it's law. Just to be clear, I think international law is fake and gay. I'm not going to sit here and defend it. But even under the fake and gay international law, it's completely lawful to stop people from invading your country and breaking your blockade illegally. Yeah, you don't want them to actually be supplying aid to terrorists, I guess, but it's a brazen violation of international law, which it isn't. And it's also, what the fuck, this is in New York. All right, so of course, this is how the flotilla members were liberating the Palestinians, as you can see, by doing sexy dances.
If you did this in
Gaza,
if you did this in the country, you would be
these are the
executed.
people from the Gaza
Let's be
flotilla. As you can see,
really
this is
real about
footage of
that.
them being raped by Israeli rape
Nice
dogs.
hairy armpits, by the way.
Yeah. My mistake. There's no Israeli rape dogs, but clearly you can see he is standing here making he's handcuffed when in actuality he's not.
He's taking a lesson from the AOC doctrine of being just kind of escorted in a direction, not actually handcuffed.
He has no handcuffs. Just making believe he's handcuffed with zero handcuffs. These are the most performative people on the planet. You guys are just like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, why is he doing it? Why is he doing this? This is crazy. Right, so anyway, of course, Itamar Ben-Gvir. All right, so this guy is one of the Israeli, finance minister guys. He's a little retarded. He basically went to all these people that invaded the country, that were captured. The flex on them? I'm not sure.
Free Palestine! Check it!
This guy over here. You're welcome to Israel. We are the hosts here. Yeah. So again, I think he's a bit of a retard. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna sit here and make believe this isn't retarded. Now, to be clear, I don't really give a shit about what happens to these people that tried to invade another country illegally and are getting deported. But at the same time, what the fuck is this whole circus shit? Now, of course, the world crashed out. Maloney, who is freaking out that Ben-Gvir went and he flexed on the people that invaded their country illegally and are getting deported.
Yeah.
So she crashed out about this. She's the leader of Italy. All right. The images of the Israeli minister Ben-Gvir are unacceptable. It is inadmissible that these demonstrators that invaded another country illegally, including many Italian citizens, are subjected to treatment that violates human dignity.
Get your people in line,
What,
lady.
that he made them kneel? Are you serious? The Italian government is immediately taking the highest institutional levels all necessary steps to secure the immediate release of the Italian citizens involved. Italy further demands an apology. All right. And they got their apology. Pedro Sanchez from Spain. The images of the Israeli minister Ben-Gvir humiliating members of the international flotilla in support of Gaza are unacceptable.
Are they, though?
Okay. Okay, we will not tolerate anyone mistreating our citizens that invaded another country illegally. In September,
Exactly.
I announced the ban of the national territory for this member of the Israeli government. I mean, to be fair, I think Ben Gvir is retarded, so I'm not going to sit here and make believe he's not. But the craziest thing is, while he is out there, Pedro Sanchez, screaming about Israel, all right, screaming about how America is doing war crimes, how Israel is evil and abducting people that are invading their country or something. This is the riots or protests rather, on the streets of Spain, calling for the deposition and removal of this tyrant, this communist motherfucker. Tens of thousands of Spanish patriots stormed the streets demanding the resignation of socialist left-wing PM Pedro Sanchez that betrayed his people. You know, this is right after the UK march. You know, people are really tired of this far left.
Yeah, and I really hope that this trend in Europe continues. I hope that they actually pay attention to what they're voting for, and I hope this will push a whole new era of maybe not complete honesty, but at least something closer to the level of honest dishonesty that we've had in the past, to where they won't just straight up say something and do something else. Like, hopefully, and that's one thing I will say, look, love or hate his policy, Trump actually has done or tried to do all the things that he has set out to do. Anyone who says otherwise isn't paying attention. Okay? You're headline readers. That's all you are. That's all you'll ever be. A headline reader. Someone who reads a book cover to cover, which includes the synopsis or the rough detail to the hook on the outside cover of a book. And that's what they mean by cover to cover.
Bullshit. Because this stuff sucks, man. These people suck. For the record, this guy just let in 500,000 Syrians and just poof, decided to give them citizenship so that they could vote in elections. And wow, he won! Wow! So again, people are really tired of this infinite garbage, you know? I love the internet, man. Anti-government protests erupted in Spain as crowds in Madrid demand Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez resign. Can you guess who's behind the protests? Yes, your guess is as good as mine.
Oh, it must be Israel. Oh, Israel. Man, Israel has all the money to pay for all of this.
Bro, there is a level of brain rot here that is just absolutely cinema. All right, so activists from the provocation flow.
You know what? You can say this all you want. Let's see how the next election goes, if this dude allows a next election. Let's see how the next election in Italy goes, Germany, so on and so forth. I want to see the rest of Europe get closer to Poland, and that is a sentence I never fucking thought I'd say.
Flotilla are seen hugging after being transferred to Israeli vessels. So far, no aid has been found on the boats. They didn't even find aid on the aid convoy. But this was the real twist.
There's lots of aids,
Spanish
though.
flotilla activists, they arrived in Bilbao Airport in Spain, and
Bilbao?
they were, you know, doing whatever the protesters normally do. So this
Being
is in
bitches.
Spain, all right, after they were deported, all right, and they're trying to block doorways and shit, and the Spanish police beat the fuck out of them. Oh my god. Wow, turns out these guys fucking suck, huh? Wow. So tired of it. Look at this bitch cower and hide. All right, so the Israeli Foreign Ministry is sitting there. I don't know what they're fucking smoking. The flotilla anarchists are driving the Spanish police crazy. And it's just the Spanish police beating the shit out of these fucking retard flotilla people. You know, it's a miracle. Thank God the flotilla anarchist made a full recovery in no time. All right, so this is one of the people that was on the flotilla, and she did an interview with like CNN talking about how she was going to rescue Palestine, and she was stopped and injured by the genocidal Israeli entity. And anyway, this was her after getting deported. Yeah, she was like making believe she was paralyzed from the neck down over here in a hospital bed.
It's all performative.
About how
It was the greatest performance of her life.
This is all for the sake of advocacy for the 67 IQ Palestinian inbreds that keep starting wars and losing. It's so important. All right, and then, of course, obviously it was all fake. Obviously, none of these people actually... Miracles happen! Wow! This is a young German activist trying so hard to fight for Palestine.
For me, it's hard because I know how they...
كان الأمر صعبا علي لأن...
She knows how they suffer as it gets released on CNN Turkey. For some reason, that's a thing that exists.
She's talking so well for someone who's in a neck brace.
Oh no! Anyway, this is her after arriving after getting deported, I think to Spain or Germany or where the fuck, and she's fine. So thank God she had a full recovery from her fake trauma. Colossal W. Now, in my opinion, this is one of the greatest trolling posts I've ever seen, ever, come out of Israel, because normally Israel PR is like dog shit. So the flotilla activists ended up getting deported to Spain, and the Spanish police beat the fuck out of them. Just colossal W, Spanish police. And Israel did this. We demand an explanation from the Spanish government regarding its treatment of the flotilla anarchists. Absolute fucking cinema. Absolute cinema. Just to understand, all right? We got Pedro Sanchez, like the Prime Minister of Spain, releasing like big condemnations for after the flotilla people tried to invade Israel illegally, they were abducted, quote unquote, and deported in full perfect health. They end up getting deported to Spain, and the Spanish police beat the shit out of them. Then we have Israel demanding an explanation for the Spanish government regarding its treatment of the flotilla anarchists. All right, just understand what we're dealing with here. This is one of the flotilla people.
He looks like the manager at Aldi's.
You're also holding the Iran flag for it.
That's right. It's these absolute anti-West retards, these liberal cucks that are protesting for Iran and for Palestine. Two people that have notoriously always been overwhelmingly peaceful. Now, I have fantastic news for everyone that's on part of these protests. If you're watching this video and you're still unsure about what to think about these poor protesters that tried to invade another country illegally and got deported, I have fantastic news. Great news, everyone. It turns out the person, Karim Khan, the guy who was in charge of the International Criminal Court that was talking about genocide for the last 3 years in Gaza, breaking news, he actually apologized and said that he found no evidence of any genocide.
Structure.
You're not ruling out that there could be a warrant in the future?
Everything is a function of evidence. I will not move. It would be a reckless and imprudent
prosecutor. You're saying in the past
prosecutor.
3 years there hasn't been evidence of genocide in Gaza?
It would be a reckless prosecutor to move simply because of clamour. You move based upon evidence. And if you read that 20th of May application, and if you also read the panel report, they also talk about ongoing investigations and applications. And more than that, I simply can't say. But the suffering in that situation is immense. The investigation is not closed, and it continues. And the court, the men and women of the office continue to work, and we will not blink or be deterred.
So genocide is not off limits? You haven't ruled it out?
No crime.
No, please, don't put it off limits. Maybe you'll change your mind about it, genocide later. We need this to be a genocide. Please. And if not, maybe we'll get the Israelis to kill some more Palestinians so we can make it a genocide. Wink, wink. Right? They've always been standing on the corpses of these people and these children that have horribly, unfortunately, been killed over the course of this war that they started. All right? Honestly, it's tragic that these children are dead, and they died because the retards decided to start a war and refuse to end it and use human shields and fire missiles from hospitals and missiles from not just universities, but nurseries. Again, terrorist, Islamist, radical motherfuckers, according to the United Nations, 70% of buildings in Gaza were destroyed, but yet only 1% of the population was killed. You know, anyone that calls that a genocide, in my opinion, is either trying to push a narrative or they're just retarded. Franklin fakes an injury to free Palestine, and that's just basically where we're at these days. Every single one of these stupid, dumb fuck activists LARPing too close to the sun and getting absolutely obliterated.
It's amazing.
Absolute cinema highlight of the day. Now, domestically, there is some finding out happening that is just absolute cinema to look at. So, JD Just Dance Vance dropped a nuke in the White House press room.
You read the things about Ilhan Omar and about, who she married and whether she didn't marry this person or that person.
Her brother?
It certainly seems like something fishy is there, but everybody's entitled to equal justice under the laws. So we're going to investigate it. We're going to take a look at it. If we think that there's a crime, we're going to prosecute that crime.
Deport.
I want someone to run for president on the ticket of we will not be having any dual citizens in Congress, no foreign-born people in government. We will be deporting anti-American filth. All right, that's my dream. That's what I want the most. That's what I want the most. Our country is a Christian nation. It's based on biblical values. And if you are coming from a country that doesn't share that value set, I just, period, do not want people from those countries en masse. The end. All right? I really don't. I don't want them to come in with enough numbers from any country that does not come from biblical values that they could create their own little subcultures in our society. All right? I have become so radicalized on this, it's insane. Nothing good comes from it. Now, the crazy update is, Minneapolis daycare owner featured in Nick Shirley's video, Fahima Eg Ahmed, fabled Hassan Piker viewer and dog torture, probably. Who knows? That's just, I'm making that up, but it's just statistically very possible. Charged with wire fraud and conspiracy for allegedly stealing over $4.6 million through false claims to federal and state programs. You see, that was $4.6 million that we could have been using to blow up terrorists in the Middle East. Okay? Okay? Okay?
Imagine
so
that.
on taxes too, for the record. I fucking hate the idea that I have to pay so much fucking money to the government for the government to give.
I mean, you live, you Lear, right?
Muhammad to do whatever the fuck she does. I don't know, to marry off her 6-year-old daughter to some very hairy 50-year-old Afghani man. I don't want to deal with that shit. I personally don't want to sponsor that at all. You know, remember when people immediately said Trump wasn't going to do anything about the fraud in Minnesota? Everyone was saying Nick Shirley's video was a bust. No one ended up getting arrested. Look, man, the government takes its time, but we're there, and Nick did something of a celebratory dance. Because this is the downfall of the fraud empire.
Today is a big day. We're here in Minnesota, back to the legend David. Today's a big...
Let's go, boo. Let's go.
All right, we're just going to catch a little bit of
Get rid
this.
of the Mohammeds.
I love how they're wearing the sweater.
They're named after a pedophile, right?
10 people are being charged for fraud that they have committed here inside the state of Minnesota. And a few of these people are being charged with autism and daycare, childcare fraud. Over $40 million in autism fraud. And one of the main ladies in the video that me and David made, she has been caught with over $4 million. Her last year her daycare received 3.67.
This is what we call winning for those of you keeping notes at home. Oh, but nothing ever happened. Something happened. Something happened.
These things take time. The government does not do anything quickly.
$7 million, and now she's been
Until it does.
charged for child care fraud.
It's racist the way you said these. Well, she shouldn't have looked like that.
What the fuck?
Not my problem. I didn't invent this thing. I didn't bring it here. I didn't invent it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, obviously. I'm sure there's a Somali. I'm not gonna let 95% of the Somalis that are fucking raping our country ruin it for the 5% of Somalis that are good, upstanding citizens.
Here
I mean, that's probably an accurate portrayal.
The highest amount of fraud that's ever been charged inside of this district. This is Ilhan Omar's district here in Minnesota. And on top of that, they're bringing about 2 new cases of fraud that have actually never been criminally charged inside of the Medicare programs here inside of Minnesota. This is a big deal. David, you're here with us. What does this say?
This is phenomenal to see the progression that things are.
What we call winning.
Happening.
This is what we call winning.
Our videos, and that woman who was criminally charged, by the way, she was caught at the airport with a one-way ticket to London. She was
fleeing.
She was trying to go to the Islamic
That's amazing. It was relatively fast for a government. No, exactly. It was relatively fast.
And now she's been charged.
But see, and that's the thing. We live in such a give it to me now, you know, such a fast-paced society that when governments or anything takes the amount of time that it's supposed to take to do something, you can't just do things. You have to do all kinds of studies, see what kind of ramifications such and such could have, see if anything's true or not, because you can't just take someone's word on it. You have to actually investigate things yourself. And that's one reason I'm just, I don't know, people irritate the shit out of me. That's why when he did this, I was like, okay, that's kind of neat. Okay, that's kind of a lot. Yeah, I can kind of see that being the case. And it turned out to be the case, apparently. So, boop.
First person charged with child care fraud. It's a big deal.
This is a big deal, and they're going to be doing these press conferences right now. We're going to be breaking it all down. We're going to be interviewing people like Dr. Oz and also A.G. Collins, who's actually the head of the Fraud Task Force. He's the Attorney General of the Fraud Task Force, so we're going to be interviewing him as well. And right now, because of the celebration that's taking place, the Lears are leering the hard way. We're doing 25% off the entire
you
site.
live,
So you can go to
you Lear.
antifarclub.com and use code LEARING, and you're going to get 25% off. And now let's see
If there's a hat, I'll probably get the hat, even though I can't wear
The
hats.
fraud that's taking place. So here they are, and look, we even have our op. We even have our op CNN right.
Citizen journalists are saving America. Citizens are saving the West, honestly. It's because of reporting that's radicalizing people, the normies. All right, that's what's happening. That's why the Overton window is shifting. Yes, true, Donald Trump is elected president, and he's able to make this. He's created.
I completely agree with all this. That being said, sorry, I can't stand sitting through the whole thing with Nick Shirley. I like him. I think he's doing great work. I think Nux is doing great work. But I can't sit here and watch a whole half-hour Nick Shirley video. It'll be like an Inception for streaming.
Now, every single person that hates Trump is just having a bad day today. You know, they try to assassinate him, and then they die trying to assassinate him. W. All right, they tried to assassinate his daughter. They went to jail. That was foiled. W. You know, Iran doesn't like Trump. Iran is having a terrible day right now. Complete economic ruin. They're on their hands and knees begging for a deal. And now we have to talk about the Democrats hosting a No Bad Ideas Summit, and Thomas.
But I will say, get out there, and Yanuka, I know you've already, or sorry, Yanuka, I know you've already probably watched the Nick Shirley bit. I know you've already watched this whole Nuck stream probably, which makes me appreciate you even more as a viewer. But yeah, just know that I fully support everyone going and watching those who haven't. The Nick Shirley bit, the Nux bit. Watch him in his entirety. He works really hard for these. As hard as I promise, once I find my footing, I will. I will also do a lot of groundwork and get a lot of this stuff done when I can.
Massey losing his mind. Because apparently you go up against the big orange man and you try to be all sneaky about it and you don't try to face him head on. You just end up getting run over. All right, so Thomas Massey, I lost my election on the 6-month anniversary of the Epstein Files Transparency Act becoming law. Those buggers don't waste any time. Wow, what a coincidence. I guess all the Epstein file people in his district didn't vote for him now. Bro, no one is buying this, man. This is the epitome of leaving without grace. This dude does not know how to take an L. You lost your election because more people voted for the other guy. That's why you lost the election.
Yeah.
I cannot believe he's been crying about this for a week now.
I mean, I can't.
They really expect this guy to run for president? Oh my God, he can't win his district. In Kentucky, man. I love how he's just completely bought into this whole ideology that, oh yeah, you know why I lost my election? The powerful elites that are controlling democracy threw me out. It's totally not because just more people voted for the other guy because Donald Trump told them to. Totally not that. Totally not that. And in, one of the most pro-Trump districts in all of America, in Kentucky's 4th district, they actually voted for the guy that Trump endorsed. That's impossible. It must be because the Epstein class is fighting against him.
Oh, of course. It's those Epsteins doing it all.
This is an old Thomas Massey tweet. Survivors at our press conference announced they are privately compiling their own Epstein list. They would be sued into homelessness for naming names. But Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's gone, and he's gone, are willing to name names in the House of Representatives under constitutional speech or debate.
This was just as big of a retard flex as when Pam Bondi said, "Oh yeah, I've got them on my desk." I don't know why I made her sound Palin, but there it is.
Didn't do fucking anything. Yep, that's right. He's the pedophile protector, I guess. What can I say? I guess Thomas Massey is just part of the Epstein class, and he's a subversive Fed. That's right. He's an Epstein class psyop all along. Now there are crash outs, and there are crash outs. I want to show you the way the mind virus has raped this man. He went straight from Trump derangement syndrome, which, for the record, has a very low survival rate, to Israel derangement syndrome, which is fatal, all right? Thomas Massey, and Grok, is it true that Charlie Kirk's show is distributed by a registered foreign agent of Israel? Sorry, Grok, I can't find your answer to the replies. What's the connection between Israel and the syndicator of the Charlie Kirk show? Are we serious, man? This is pathetic. This is sad as fuck. He's completely fallen down the rabbit hole of Epstein and Israel, and the shadow elites have managed to get the Kentucky voters to vote for the other guy. Bro, mind virus taking over. Sad scene. Bro, this is miserable. This is absolutely miserable. A hilariously pathetic crash out. All right, so Thomas Massey followed this account they ended up exposing. Fist Me Patriot, the loose lefty. I'm a gay Israeli, and you're an anti-Semite for noticing. Synagogue of Satan, Israel.
I mean, he looks like he's getting fisted.
Basically an Israel is evil account, and he's now followed by Thomas Massey. Bro, this is sad. Right, he just tweeted this today. Some folks don't want my posts to show up in their feed as a public service. I will block everyone who feels this way. Indicate your desire to be blocked by replying to this post with a negative comment. I will block you. America first. MAGA. This is the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. This is honestly sad. See, I called this guy a grifter a long time ago. This guy said that Donald Trump is protecting pedophiles, and then he runs a fake Donald Trump endorsement for his campaign, making believe Trump loves the guy. All right, he voted against funding the border and funding the border wall and funding ICE agents, and then he'll be like, oh, I totally care about our border and stuff. I just didn't want to vote for that one because Trump wanted it. Bro is silent about Epstein for 4 years under Biden, and now Trump is president, and now he gets into this whole Epstein class.
See, and that's one of the things that's always bothered me the most, is that no one gave a fuck. Literally no one gave a fuck for the whole 4 years Trump wasn't in office. Epstein gets arrested during Trump's first term. And then all the papers that have come out came out under Trump's second term. Whether or not he put every single thing out, he put out a lot, like a majority of it, a strong majority, like a kind of majority, like a super majority of it. And people are still on it. Look, do I think everything's released? No, but I think everything that hasn't already been destroyed by the previous administration has been put out.
Now, this is an old tweet from Charlie Kirk, but it's very relevant because right now there's a massive push of these people saying, I can't believe Turning Point USA didn't like Thomas Massey. They must be an agent of Israel. Charlie Kirk loved Massey and would never vote against him. Well, this is an old tweet from Charlie Kirk in 2019.
Yeah, this is like
by the way, I really miss
7
this guy
years
a lot.
old. So do I.
It's heartbreaking that he's dead. Just wanted to remind you because people on the internet seem to have forgotten.
And the more I see of him, the more I really mourn his death. He seemed to be one of the most genuine people ever. His wife, I don't know how to feel about her. I don't think that she murdered him by any stretch of the imagination. I think Candace Owens is a nut job. But I'm skeptical of the wives of, or the spouses of many great people, rather. We'll say.
Justin Amash used to be one of my favorite members of Congress. He used to fight for liberty and the Constitution. Now he's fixated on adoration from the left and the media. He ignores Trump's wins on every front. Amash, you have let us all down. We will primary you. You will lose. And he did. Now, for the record, this is just what happened with Thomas Massey. So, you could like Thomas Massey, that's fine. You could think that he used to be one of your favorite members of Congress, that's fine. You could say he fought for liberty and the Constitution, and that's fine. Right now, Thomas Massey is fixed on adoration from the left and the media, which is why the New York Times, the Washington Post, and every single one of these leftoid media outlets was campaigning on behalf of Thomas Massey. You know, Ro Kahana and Cenk Younger and Hassan Piker were crying when Thomas Massey lost. All right? You let us down, Thomas Massey. We primaried you, and you lost. You're cooked. All right? Now he's just, and well, don't think of it as we lost a member of Congress. Think of it as we gained a future podcaster who's buying into all of the retard right conspiracy theories. You voted against the big beautiful bill, and that's where and now you're cooked. Now, just to understand the level of cooking our actual media sphere is, this is Candace Owens, you know, lady who historically believes that the Jews are teaming up with Egyptian planes and Sumerian time travelers to assassinate Charlie Kirk, and who believes that the Jews invented space, as well as the round Earth theory. Which is fake, obviously, because the Earth is obviously flat. Now, Hunter Biden was interviewed by Candace Owens. So here we have Jake Tapper. This is the craziest fucking twist of all time. Jake Tapper, the CNN anchor, shitting on Hunter Biden for collaborating with Candace Owens. Bro, we are witnessing retard meltdowns and destruction, the likes of which we've never seen before.
The likes of which we've never seen.
But something's changed, Candace. It's not left or right.
Something's
the DC
changed,
elite of the left. They crushed my dad.
Yeah, notoriously, his dad was not the president of the United States. What?
Never part of that club. He was never part of the Epstein class.
Like
so how the fuck is he the president of the United States? Like, are we even serious? The entire fucking
my dad was corrupt in
behind
different
the guy
ways.
to the point that we don't even know who the fuck was running our country for 4 years. Your dad was a potato sitting behind the desk in the Oval Office, okay? Like, are we serious?
One thing he didn't do, he didn't greenlight to turn Gaza into a Trump golf course.
You're right, he just gave infinite money to Israel and Ukraine. Good point.
With the maitre d' being Jared Kushner. War in Iran that they started, that every president before him was pressured by the Israelis.
Yeah, I do think there was something about the Charlie.
For the record, Biden gave billions of dollars to Iran. Trump decided to blow them up. I'll take blow them up, actually.
Kirk assassination that everyone just sort of looked up.
They're the people.
Everyone was like, wow, it can't possibly be that a radical leftist assassinated this really great guy. It can't possibly be that. Must be Sumerian time travelers.
That Charlie Kirk made. The level of disloyalty or fear. I don't know what it is. And the criticism of you for asking the questions for someone who was like a brother to you is...
Oh my God, he was like a brother to you, which is why he disinvited her from all of his events while he was alive. He was like a brother to you, and you're just asking questions. You're totally not insinuating that his wife murdered him, right?
Yeah, no, totally.
Right.
No,
Like,
of course not. You've been completely an angel in this whole situation.
What are you talking about? I listen to you and I go, right on.
A notorious drug addict listens to Candace Owens and says, right on.
Hunter Biden is like, well,
I mean,
Candace Owens is literally right. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Now we've already been through the Candace Owens thing. She thinks the dinosaurs were invented by Jews to trick Christians. All right, we're not getting into that one this time. But this is fun.
Yanuka, is that true? I'm not even gonna ask. That's sorry. That's horrible. But it's completely insane that she would say something like dinosaurs are fake and gay and they were created by Jews to fool Christians. What?
Cinema, dude. Actual left destruction. All right, so Texas 35, Democratic candidate Maureen Galindo, this is a good one, says that she will convert ICE detention center in Karnes County into an internment camp for American Zionists. It will be a castration processing center for pedophiles, quote, which will probably be mostly Zionists. Which is hilarious because obviously the number one group of pedophiles on the planet are Muslims, and it's really not even close because their religion venerates pedophilia. It's actually fucking awesome in Islam to rape kids. Now, I'm not saying every Muslim's a pedophile, but I'm saying every Muslim worships one. So like we are at this level of the left, all right? The left being like, oh, we're just gonna open up internment camps for, I guess, Jews and evangelical Christians. Like only they all go into castration processing centers. It's really nice. They say Trump's rhetoric is bad, and then they whip out this one. All right, even AOC was like, "This is disgusting. This bigoted garbage, anti-Semitism, nowhere near our politics. If you are in Texas, vote for the other guy." Like this is the level of retard we're doing. So of course, all the Islamists and pedophiles had to take that side, be like, "Oh my God, AOC is controlled by the Israel lobby, bro."
Look. And that's the one thing I can't stand. The one time that AOC is correct on something. Well, maybe twice, because the clock's right. A broken clock's right twice a day. I will never understand why it's suddenly okay to hate Israelis or let's face it, it's the Jews. It's okay to hate Jews. Okay, people will always say, "Oh no, there's a difference between Zionists and the Jews." There is a difference between Zionists and the Jews, but that's not what we're talking about. You literally are just shielding the fact that you don't like Jews, at least not religious Jews, with terms like, "Oh, just the Zionists, just people who think that Israel should exist." What are we talking about?
Cannot do this. You cannot do this. These people are retarded, bro. Right? So, Grandpa...
Nux actually answers it. Yes, we invented dinosaur. Every Jew has the opportunity to create a dino Lux. Grandfather created the pterodactyl. Sorry, Yanuka's funny, man.
Plattner, who notoriously is a Democrat, running...
It'd be funny if you were like 100% stone cold serious, and I was just sitting here laughing like, wait.
The Senate, I think in Michigan, maybe? I don't
know.
No,
it's Maine. It's Maine.
He has a Totenkopf Nazi tattoo.
Yeah.
Like to call Trump
well,
a Nazi.
had. Hold on.
Actually has a Totenkopf Nazi tattoo.
Okay, Nux is wrong about those two. Okay, one, it's Maine, not Michigan, because people in Maine are nuts. And two, he had it. I mean, it's technically still there. He just got something really stupid, but not Nazi-esque, tattooed over it. Okay. But yes, Graham Plattner from Maine had a Totenkopf, I believe it was, one of those Nazi skulls that they very much liked. And, yeah. But he's 100% okay. But not any of the Republicans. Because he hates the right people, right? Anyway, guys, I'm going to take just a quick moment to run to the bathroom, and I will be right back. All right, sorry about that. Dang it, I just reprogrammed that too. And it shows that... All right. Where's my mouse? There you are. I need to go through and make sure that I actually finalize things when I go through and fix them on my intermission and all that. Yeah, anyway, so hi, welcome back. For those of you that don't know, when I like to start every show with a cup of coffee with everyday dose mushrooms. I'm also on what I like to call a 2/3 liquid diet because I've gotten a little fat since I moved into my my new office job, which is why I am currently going to the gym, doing my 2/3 liquid diet, high protein diet, and then eating actual food for dinner. But for the show, I've drank 16 ounces of morning breakfast smoothie, I guess. A very large cup of coffee in a cup that says coffee makes me poop, and most of a liter of water. So, yeah.
They call Trump a Nazi, and they're literally running this guy who has a Nazi tattoo.
Hold on. In the chat, Zionist is hating people who like Jews as well as Jews. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Like, literally, I mean, that's what it actually... And that's basically it. Like, really, the actual definition is people who believe Israel should exist, correct? But what it's turned into, at least as far as the Jew haters, is Jews and everyone who thinks Jews should exist. They'll try to say, oh no, we just don't like Israel. But come on, man. Like, especially when you say Zionist, like all Zionists should this or that, you're talking about a lot of people, because a lot of people think that Israel should exist.
On his body. All right, well, they actually recently discovered some of his Reddit posts. Bro, Reddit is gonna fucking do him in. It's over, bro. So this is what he had to say. This video never gets old. Dumb motherfucker didn't deserve to live. This is him referring to a U.S. soldier who was shot 4 times in Afghanistan, by the way.
Oh.
This is him making fun of someone who received a Purple Heart, which is insane. When he took incoming fire from a 2012 clash with the Taliban. This is what the comment said. This video never gets old. Dumb motherfucker didn't deserve to live. At least his stupidity and fat-ass wheezing are available for all future infantrymen to witness and hold in contempt. Poor marksmanship on the Taliban's part is the only reason this mouth breather made it home. He managed to make every possible shit decision possible when it came to small unit combat. And this guy
that's
is
a
running
piece of shit.
for Senate for the Democrats. All right, if the Nazi tattoo wasn't bad enough, this is actually just...
I mean, he looks like your average leftist trying to... He looks like a lesbian trying to live as a dude. 100%.
Hassan Piker. Just American Hassan Piker. It's crazy. All right? So the left decided to get together, and they were like, holy shit, we need to stop fascism, while they're trying to do their absolute best to elect Nazis. As we all know, Nazis were National Socialists. They are the left. All right? There's this massive rewriting of history that the Nazis in Germany were right-wing when they were obviously left-wing. And it's really not even...
I mean, that is
to
true.
actually do any research at all. The Nazis pushed infinite socialism. The Nazis did the DEI shit, reverse DEI shit, which is just racism all over again. The Nazis did the eugenics shit, just like the abortion worshippers in the West does. The Nazis wanted stronger gun control. They were the National Socialist Party, for crying out loud. So the Democrats had a no bad ideas summit where they were like, well, we have to stop fascism. I understand we're trying to elect people that want to make concentration camps for Jews. They've done that before. And also a guy with a Nazi tattoo that says that he wishes our soldiers were killed by the Taliban. All right, so these are 2 front runners for the Democrats right now. But we need a no bad ideas summit to stop fascism.
But there are bad ideas.
Calling a meeting of the great Democrat minds. And it's
right.
BYOB.
There's no such
Bring
thing.
your own brain.
We need to
I see what you did there.
that is born out of our ability to assume some risk, perhaps. I've been thinking about, we need to have basically a no bad ideas brainstorm.
All right.
No bad idea.
A no bad ideas brainstorm. So they whipped out the super geniuses.
This is what you say when you're out of ideas.
Oh, yeah.
But Democrats decided to try it anyway.
Oh, hell yeah,
Summoning
dude.
their finest thinkers for a No Bad Ideas Summit.
I can't believe
Thank you all for the
Oh, let's go! They got Pocahontas, dude! Whoa!
welcome. I love being
I love how they actually say Pocahontas on there.
my kind of people. The four
My
of us
kind of
are
people.
doing the hard policy work right now. The
They've done nothing, by the way.
nuts, the wiring.
Their entire policy is anti-Trump.
Here's how the pieces will work.
Pretty much.
Here's how we get the money in. Here's how we get the money back.
Here's how we get money to transgender surgeries in Yemen. Let's do it. We need more LGBT diversity in Afghanistan ASAP.
Al, can I get an amen on that one?
These people aren't religious. Why are you saying, can I get an amen?
Kamala set the bar low at No Bad Ideas, but Hakeem just hip-checked his way through it, and he wants to break you.
Oh, shit.
Either MAGA extremists are going to break the country or we're going to break them. And our goal...
Our MAGA extremists breaking the country. Y'all keep trying to kill my president. Okay? Like, what are we even doing here?
I mean,
is to
accurate.
break them. We have to beat
We
them.
have to break MAGA. We break them. What's your policy idea? We fucking take a MAGA guy and we shoot the president. Leftist policy, ladies and gentlemen. It keeps getting better. It keeps getting better.
Electorally, and then we have to break their spirit.
Hips wants to break our spirit.
I
How
would
are we going to
break
win the
them.
election? Well, it's simple. We first win the election and then break their spirit. Okay, but how do we get there? How do we do that though?
How do we
Chinese
do
virus?
We
anything?
lived through Biden, buddy. We're fireproof. But Gavin isn't. He just greased
Oh,
up and
shit.
took the stage for his
Here comes Gavin.
Greased
I
up.
can't believe they did this.
own little TED Talk. The title, Fighting Fire with Fire.
Oh shit.
That's the worst thing for Gavin Newsom to say.
Yes, we all want the better angels. Yes, we want.
It's pretty much what he did in his own
sound and music.
state.
Notorious for fighting fire with fire.
Exactly.
In California. He literally couldn't
Because
put out
of
the fire.
previous bad policy and him
was
continuing
literally
bad
fighting with
policy.
fire.
West Wing. I do. But we'll lose our country. We will lose our country. I'm
No
done
one is
winning
falling for this man.
arguments. With all due respect to the niceties, it feels good, but we're going to lose our republic. Again, the founding fathers did not live and die for this moment. I can't celebrate July 4th.
I can't celebrate July 4th because Donald Trump he won an election democratically and we didn't kill him yet. We're trying to kill him. But we can't just fucking, we can't get an assassin that's not complete fucking retard. They keep missing, god damn it. This is literally leftist policy right now. Do you understand how evil it is? Like, this is literally leftist policy. Them being like, this guy won an election democratically and we haven't succeeded in killing him yet.
Newsom may not be celebrating America's birthday, but he is lighting candles.
Oh.
We have a responsibility. It's just like the issue of redistricting. We could have decided to write an op-ed. We could have decided, hold hands, have a candlelight vigil, win the argument. These guys are ruthless on the other side.
A wine
Not
tasting.
screwing around.
Yanuki, you having a wine
God,
tasting?
I wish they were ruthless. I wish the Republicans were exactly what the Democrats thought.
Wine would be a better way to fight fires than
facilities, doing mass deportation.
Newsom was using.
Threat to democracy. Fuck yeah, dude. Threaten democracy. Like, bro, I wish they were actually as ruthless as the left thought. Right? This is insane. And they will be. It will happen in my lifetime. We will get a far-right government at some point that's actually going to be fucking awesome.
This was an ideas conference. Our producer watched hours of it. So I asked her, what were the new ideas? And she said, well, they really want to lower the cost of health care.
Huge.
Great. How? I said, well, she said they've got some bills. I said, well, what do the
Huge.
bills do?
More taxes.
They didn't get that far.
Oh.
Democrats have been running on
It's
lowering health care
miserable.
costs for years. But health care costs are going...
By the way, the number one lowering of healthcare costs in my lifetime was Trump RX, which lowered the cost of prescription drugs.
Literally the best thing for
They're out
healthcare.
of ideas, even bad ones. That's why Mark Cuban just joined Trump at the White House to lower drug costs.
And got lambasted by the
Ideas
left
conference, all they talked about was
for
how they're
doing
gonna fight Trump hard.
for doing something good. Mark Cuban was willing to put his differences aside and work with Trump on doing something that he's doing that's actually good. Lowering the price. I don't like that he puts his name on everything, but I care that it's getting done. Shit.
Harder.
You didn't see that, right?
How do you fight any harder? You tried to kill him. You arrested him. You impeached him twice. You keep shutting down the government.
Yep.
All they want to do is smack Trump around like a piñata. And if Gavin's leading the resistance, then Sonny Hostin's a rebel. She's building an army of her own in a galaxy far, far away.
Uh-oh.
And we are feeling the result of not having a resistance, a valuable resistance.
You do really have to watch Andor, let me tell you. That's
I
all
know,
about the
you've been telling me about Andor. We're such both sci-fi and fantasy fans.
It'll change your life, and it's all about forming a rebellion.
Yeah, if totally.
We need to form a rebellion.
Do you think
a true resistance?
May the force be with her.
Christ.
And with
People are miserable.
Mayor Small Fry, who thinks he's General Eisenhower.
ICE is not just...
No way! They got the mayor of Minneapolis! This guy sucks! Mayor who let his city burn blames ICE.
the federal police force that he's developed. It is his. And there's a
They literally work for the government! Are we serious?
historical analog here, which is the SS. They largely...
Whoa! I didn't think of that. ICE is law enforcement, and the SS is also law enforcement. You're so right, bro. Did you know that Hitler drank water and so did Trump?
don't need approvals from the congressional body. It is very much Donald Trump's force.
The SS...
The only impressive thing that guy ever did was be a white American-born person and beat a Somali for the position of mayor by using ancient or old feuds between tribes against his voters. That's the only base thing he's ever done. Other than that, this guy's a fucktard.
SS ran death camps.
I have an introductory course to the world of grapes and wine, and part of the course is learning how to taste test the wine. Really? That's kind of interesting.
ICE sends MS-13 back to El Salvador. I don't get the comparison. It's a completely different job
They
description.
literally just sit there, lie, gaslight, and manipulate social retards on the left to try to kill my president. That's what they do. It's literally what they do.
Maybe he's just confused. A lot of Democrats are these days. Just ask Michelle.
Country feels like it has a hole in it, and it's a little
Like a
rusty.
hole in the car?
Yeah, like a hole in the car. That we're messy right now. That we're confused. That we're upside down.
Yeah,
that's
true.
what it feels like.
True. That's the Democrats. Now, obviously, they're really mad at Asmongold because he called Black Lives Matter out to be a scam. Black people are
My
really upset
God.
at Asmongold now.
People were
It's not a good gum-to-tooth ratio.
Literally, leftist policy is just being completely retarded now, hating Trump and trying to get some socially retarded, transgender, mental moron to fucking kill him. And it's insane that we have to just sit here and make believe that it's normal.
About George Floyd. You can't make jokes about George Floyd.
Oh, no.
That's right. Can't make fun of George Floyd. Man notoriously died of a drug overdose.
Kevin, the black community is so proud of you. Right now, George Floyd is looking up at us all, laughing so hard that he can't breathe.
Again, it is not a laughing matter.
I mean, you can make jokes. Not the best joke, more shock appeal than anything else. I agree with that part, but you should be able to make these jokes. There were plenty of jokes that were done in bad taste. I don't fault, what's the guy that looks like Beetlejuice? Pete Davidson. I don't fault Pete Davidson so much because he lets people make fun of the fact that his dad died during 9/11, but at the same time, that's pretty much been his cash cow, I guess, in the mainstream comedy world, so...
We are here today to call your attention to the fact that an egregious, disgusting joke was made about George Floyd.
Dude, no one is taking.
Aw.
No one could possibly be taking these people seriously. They had a press conference about a joke.
Here we are.
I mean, you think they resurrected him and killed him again?
I mean, the real joke is that half the leaders of the BLM movement have been arrested for fraud because they spent all the money on themselves instead of doing anything for the black community.
Memorialize George Floyd for year 6 after.
He didn't deserve the first memorial, let alone the 70. Like, bro, this is insane.
Why is it that this is like their patron saint? Why is it that...
Because he did exactly what they all dream of. He is the ghetto dream. Okay? He managed to start some sort of movement. He tortured white people through his existence. He was a career criminal.
I mean, he
actually
didn't torture
faced
anybody.
Consequences to his actions. He resisted arrest, and the police
And he was a
went
horrible
to jail.
human being,
He
but-
is the hero for like this entire culture of retards Not all black. I'm not talking about all black people, but specifically the people that worship that guy. They fucking love him. He's the dream. Died doing what he loved, harassing police officers.
We're even talking about George Floyd. The guy was a career criminal scumbag, and he got pulled over while he was driving under the influence of fentanyl.
Put your hands on top of your head. Hands on top of your head. Hands on top of your head.
Keep your hands where I can see them.
Are we really going to act like this guy is some kind of good actor?
Brutal murder at the hands of the Minneapolis Police Department.
It wasn't a brutal
Our
murder.
community
It was
is
whoops.
Everything happened in Minneapolis.
Experiencing grief and trauma. We have young people in our
Well, get over it. Holy fuck. People spent the entire fucking year burning the whole fucking country down. Move on.
who were children at the time. They're now teenagers.
Yeah.
Still dealing with the impact of
No,
the police
they're
killing of
not.
George Floyd.
No, they are not dealing with that, bro. So teach them not to drive under the influence. Teach them not to resist and fight with police officers.
I mean, wasn't the current governor the governor then? Pretty sure.
Teach them not to overdose on fentanyl. Have a dad in the home, all right? Unlike George Floyd, who was arrested 8 times, all right? Problem solved, literally. Oh, my God, cry about it, I guess.
And instead of allowing our community to grieve in peace, to celebrate George Floyd in peace,
Grieve in peace, you burnt down our country.
we have Netflix comedians making light of the brutal killing of George Floyd.
Yes. But we need to do it more. I think that one of the major solutions and ways that we can greatly improve public discourse and save society is by brutally humiliating retarded ideologies.
It is unacceptable and it is unconscionable. Tony Hinchcliffe made a grotesque joke saying that
She's laughing.
George Floyd is looking up at us, laughing, and he can't breathe.
She was laughing.
I thought you said it wasn't a laughing matter.
She was literally laughing.
He just laugh?
Made a grotesque joke saying that
This gotta be like, I mean, what are we doing here?
George Floyd is looking up at us, laughing, and he can't breathe. When I saw the clip online, it made me sick to my stomach.
Wow.
So we are here to declare today.
Cry about it. Go to your husband and tell them that something offended you, and your husband will say, there, baby, it'll be fine. Oh, wait, you don't have a husband. Oh, wait.
That there needs to be accountability for Kevin Hart's Netflix.
Accountability? You made a joke, and I didn't like it. Now we need to kill you.
This bitch is still moving like it's...
I will say, look, conservatives made a bit of a fuss about the Charlie Kirk joke. They did. A little bit of a fuss. A couple of people mentioned it on their shows, and that was literally it. These people are trying to stop things. These people are trying to form and keep dead movements afloat with this bullshit. What are we doing?
This is like fucking African warlord country, okay? Like, we cannot take this shit seriously. You offended my honor.
It's like,
and
you
now
a
we'll kill
retard,
you.
yes?
Bitch, this is America. Right? We don't do that here.
2021. Literally nobody cares.
Lil Yachty says Black Lives Matter was a scam.
BLM?
Yeah, Lil Yachty was based.
BLM is a scam. Clip that. Send it to the fucking news. BLM was literally
It was literally a scam.
scam. They
used donation funds to like
Lil Yachty's based.
I bought mansions, and you probably wouldn't know anything about it because you don't care about black people.
I do.
She don't.
Honestly,
She
BLM
don't.
brought us body cams, and that's been great content. Holy
black people. They're fucking awesome. I always love black people.
shit, what a great investment that
A
was.
legend.
Maybe I should have
Heroes.
donated to BLM. It's been paying off better than fucking investing in Google.
So true. So true. Dude, shout out to black people. Can we just take this moment to thank black people for getting us body cams? In fact, this dude was so mad at Asmongold for saying something that he took as racist that he made an entire video crashing out on Asmongold. And I have to show you the greatest part of the entire video. It's absolute cinema.
This stuff on our skin that make it this copper color, melanin. To be fair, white people
Copper,
y'all do have
that's
melanin,
not copper.
but black people have more.
That's
if you
the
didn't know,
president's
melanin
copper
is pretty
color.
much in every single part of the body: the skin, the hair, the eyes, your teeth, your brain. And there are so many studies coming out just proving how powerful this melanin is. With
What are you saying?
Black people have more of it. Wouldn't it mean that more? You know what I'm saying? Not
He is saying that black people are genetically superior to white people. He's doing this gigantic video takedown of Asmongold, calling him a racist, and he is saying that black people are genetically superior beings.
Bro. You can't do this whenever you make a video. Like, I don't care about you doing this. If you want to say black people are superior, like, I get that you're joking around.
He's not. He means it. He
Yeah,
means
I'm
white
pretty sure he
people,
means it.
actually. Most of these activists that fight racism, they actually just hate white people. And that is why I personally have this doctrine. I call it Nux Doctrine. Nux Doctrine is basically a chameleon. It can be many different things. I just don't believe the things that leftists say. I just don't believe that their words are actually things that they mean. I think they use them as weapons to control and manipulate you. When they call you a racist, it's not because they actually think you're a racist. It's because they want to destroy you. And that's exactly what we see every single time. So this dude's saying that black people have more melanin than white people. Melanin makes you strong, so we're genetically superior. Dog, if I would call black people genetically inferior monkeys, all right, I'd be calling a racist. You know, and you can't say that. You can't say that people are genetically inferior. Look, man, I personally agree with you. Black people have a much lower chance of getting skin cancer than white people because of the melanin in the skin. True.
Yeah.
Also, the average IQ is lower. Also true. Two objectively true, straight facts. Now, I believe every single human being is made in the image of God, and God had a reason for creating all of you. But do not sit here and fucking throw your genetic superior card as some sort of way to counter racist allegations. And do not believe the words that they say to manipulate you. The reason why, statistically, there are more black criminals per capita than white criminals is because their culture is worse. It's not because of socioeconomic conditions, because there are poor Jewish communities and Asian communities and white communities that do not have the same crime rates. It is a massive cope. So if you're going to say...
I don't fully agree. I strongly believe that starting with LBJ, there has been a strong push to keep black Americans by the racist Democratic Party, to keep black Americans dependent on the government. I 100% believe this, and it has been pushed in their culture by the mainstream. The mainstream absorbs everything, and it mostly pushes black culture, or at least pushes what it says should be black culture. It'll see something that's kind of got a cool beat to it, or whatever, and it will push that. I really believe this to an extent, and I don't think it's right. Because the government is pushing, they want black people to be subservient to the government. And it's fucked up. Do I think that there is systemic borders or boundaries around black people? No, I don't. I don't think that there are any actual law or anything booked into the law against black people. I think it's been mental conditioning for decades. I think they have mentally conditioned themselves, or not themselves, but the government and those that are in power, the mainstream media and all that, have conditioned black people into believing that this is what they are. They're hood, they're gangsters, they're this or that. It doesn't work on all black people, of course not, but I think it's all been an op. All of it. I think it's been an op. And it's horrible, man. I've had conversations with my friends. Like, it's amazing what kind of weed conversations you have with folk. And it's been really enlightening. And then we've carried on those conversations when we were sober later. And that's how it is, man. There is a conspiracy against black people, but it's being pushed by the Democrat Party. And Republicans don't really care or don't see it. But as someone who's been on both sides, and most of my friends are black people, you kind of see it.
Sit here and you're going to call everyone racist.
Oh, but real quick, let's move over just real quick to...
That's what I think.
This little bit.
Senator Rubio, will you call for ceasefire?
No, I will not.
Gaza?
On the
Senator
contrary.
Rubio,
Are you filming it?
wait,
So I want you guys to get this. I want them to destroy every element of Hamas they can get their hands on. These people are vicious animals who did horrifying crimes. And I hope you guys post that.
And what about the civilians that are being killed every day?
Hamas should stop hiding behind civilians, putting civilians in the way. Hamas knew that this was going to lead to this. So Hamas has stopped building their military installations underneath hospitals.
So you don't care that 15,000 have died? You don't care about the babies that are being killed every day?
I think it's horrifying. I think it's terrible, and I think Hamas is 100% to blame. That's what I think. Make sure you post that, please.
And they did, and they thought it was an own on him, but quite the contrary. The retards believed what they wanted to believe, and the base people agreed with Rubio.
acknowledging the obvious fact.
He's
that
one
not
conservative I
because
have a lot of respect
your
for.
socioeconomic conditions that you cannot be sitting here grandstanding about how actually you are genetically superior. Your words mean nothing. You use them as weapons to manipulate people, and unfortunately, that's over. That era has ended. I don't care what you call me, because you can't call me wrong. So Hollywood is in total shambles right now. The entire culture has been taken from them, and they really don't like that at all. So Stephen Colbert show is officially over. It's done. It's finished. They ended up canceling it. They kicked him. They threw him out because he is deeply unfunny. No one likes him, and he's been losing like $40 million a year for their studio. So the Donald returns to Twitter with an absolute nuke. Okay, let me just reload the page to see how many views are on this tweet right now. Racking up 87.5 million views and almost 1 million likes, celebrating the fact that this guy sucks and he is out of here in the trash can.
Thank God.
As you can see, this
Colbert's never
AI-generated
really been
meme
funny.
is obviously a deep
He was funny on the Colbert
metaphorical
Report and on the Daily Show
interpretation of the fact that Donald Trump's
when he was playing a
existence
character.
alone managed to break the minds of so many of these feeble libtards that they have completely entered a endless downward spiral, making anti-Trump their entire personality. Therefore, the metaphorical Trump in their own minds picked them up and threw them in the garbage. This is the deep metaphysical explanation for what this meme is actually showing. Now, of course, the New York Times is like out here glazing Stephen Colbert. Colbert's Final Late Show draws 6.7 million viewers. Oh my God!
Why did he say that?
Its usual
Like
audience. Oh my
emotional
God,
damage.
it's so big. It's so big. Wow.
Son,
wow,
why you
that's
don't do
crazy.
this?
Anyway, Donald Trump's fucking tweet got 87 million views. Oh my God, just miserable. Over 10 times the size. The Donald is just unstoppable, actually, it seems. And, well, rip Colbert. Bye. You will not be missed. Time to start a podcast, I guess. Now, Mehdi Hassan, this is a
He probably will.
terrorist supporter. He's in our country for some reason. We needed to bring
After
him
he's
immediately.
made a really shitty
These
Lord of the
guys out here
Rings, whatever he's
crying,
making.
"This is an official government accounted in democracy. This is what Orbanism looks like." They just invent shit.
What's
the president,
what the
AI
fuck is
video,
Orbanism?
and he forced the comedian who mocked him off the air into
What
the
is
trash.
Orbanism?
Well, he did go into the trash, but he didn't force him. They fired him because he was losing like $40 million a year because he's a deeply unfunny propagandist hack. He sucks, and now he's gone. All right? Like, bro,
Hold
are
on.
we serious?
Orbanism is the far-right political ideology of governance style championed by Viktor Orban, Hungarian longtime prime minister. It is officially defined by its creation of a illiberal state, a model that explicitly rejects traditional Western liberal democracy in favor of conservative centralized rule. Look, a lot of the things that the left pushes for is illiberal, so don't give me that shit. Look, I don't like some of the things that the right would do if there was no left or no liberals there to keep things in check. But there was a perfect time, and it was, I don't know. I still maintain that the 90s and early 2000s was a great time, except for the war. But minus that, I think the early 2000s, especially minus the Iraq and the Afghan war, was really good. It was cool. People were cool with each other. We were hanging out and doing things, and then technology came, and we found a bunch of other retards online that thought exactly the same things that we think, and it's been kind of downhill since then. And ever since they turned on that particle accelerator, pretty sure this is a result of that.
Like, no one is taking this seriously. And bam, 200,000 likes. Right, coming from the professional journalist that said, "Make American planes crash again." Wow, W. Anyway, so this guy is making you believe it's fascist to celebrate the idea that a guy who made their entire ideology Trump bad, whose show got canceled, calling that fascism, bro, or Orbanism, or whatever other ism you want to come up with to make it look like Trump is actually a bad guy for bragging that his haters' show fell apart. His haters' show fell apart, and Trump is celebrating because he fucking sucks. All right, because Colbert sucks. So Trump is celebrating that he sucks a lot, and that his show is gone, and that it's in the garbage, and it's not fascism to celebrate. All right, he didn't force a comedian who mocked him off the air. Now, this is why I always say, and I want more people to adopt this ideology, leftists use words to lie to you. They don't believe the things they say. They just lie. They just use words.
Well, and see, that's the scary thing. I think the ones that push it don't really believe it. But the little baby birds, little ones eating all that shit up, meep, 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 I think they believe that shit. I really do. Because I've seen it in real time with friends of mine. Of course, the town where I'm from, it's a really small town where there's nothing to do except for talk about bullshit that you've seen on TV.
Think you'll care about to manipulate.
And drink and do drugs.
This is a classic example of it. Because Mehdi Hassan celebrated when Donald Trump was banned on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook while he was the sitting president of the United States.
And he wasn't the only one. There was a lot of people that were banned and shadow banned.
Fired from Fox News, and he celebrated when every single conservative guy ever got
don't get me
banned,
wrong, I celebrated when Tucker
removed
Carlson
from a platform because of quote-unquote dangerous conspiracy
fired
theories.
from Fox
Right?
News. Not
So
for the
how many
why,
people
but
actually
for the
believe things
fact
they
that it
say?
happened.
They just say it. Now, I have to talk about this. All right, just to understand the level of cultural victory that we have, which is absolutely astronomical. The TV show known as The Boys just ended. I watched all of it. As it was coming out, first season was good. Second season was all right. Third season was tolerable. 4 and 5 were bad. Eric Kripke says Anthony Starr.
He gave it more grace than I did.
About eating shit in The Boys finale. Bro, he's trying to shift blame on his absolutely dog shit.
And let's be honest, Anthony Starr is the only him and Carl Urban. People love to see Carl Urban say the cunt word. I didn't actually mean to say it, but people love to hear him say it. And those are the two things that kept the show going, 100%. But mostly Anthony Starr.
Ending onto the actors. Now, this is ironic because Anthony Starr, the actor for Homelander, is the fucking GOAT. The actual GOAT.
Yes, he is.
Undisputed best actors I've ever seen, ever. Realistically, he's the best.
He has the best
supervillain
mindset of
actor
any
since,
person in
Heath
Hollywood,
Ledger's Joker.
bar
and
none.
It's really not even close. Now, to be clear, at the very end, Homelander gets beaten. He says, I'll fucking suck your dick. You want me to eat shit? I'll eat your shit. Basically to humiliate this guy. So he basically spends an entire 5th season completely shredding Homelander's actual character from the first couple of seasons to just basically try his best to make him a bad Trump parody. Because Trump notoriously is Superman and goes around there and actually is superhuman in strength. And despite the fact that the media keeps villainizing him, he's just a swell guy, which is basically what I'm joking. All right, so they basically try to make him this ridiculous Trump analog. They're saying he's going to be the president, and he's going to say that he's God, and he's going to commit heresy, and he's going to start making concentration camps for people that don't like him, and he hates immigrants and transgender people. No, I'm kidding. I don't hate transgender people. I just pity them. Those poor retards. So anyway, essentially, the entire 5th season is this spiraling, absolute shit show that ends with an incredibly unsatisfying conclusion that even the libtards hate. It's the lowest rated episode in the entire series, where essentially he completely destroys his entire show to get an own on Donald Trump. I'm telling you, man, Trump derangement syndrome breaks people. All right, so Domino's Pizza.
Damn it, I didn't mean to delete that. Hold on.
For the final episode, one of the actual fan favorite characters just wasn't around in the finale because they ended up just like putting him in they froze him. That was it. He's gone for the finale, right? The intern forgot.
Real quick, Piers Morgan. Memo to all the haters. I can't do a good Piers Morgan. I don't care. We are champions. And me, being who I am, said there's someone championing your wives as you post this, my dude. 100% true, probably. I mean, she's the one that posts about it on Instagram. I mean, he might want to see to that.
Forgot to switch his personal account. You got even Domino's Pizza shitting on the finale. It was so bad. All right, now, in my opinion, it's just absolute cinema. And they do this every single time. This is how libtards describe rock bottom level of patheticness. I'll fucking suck your dick. And the reason is actually simple. No matter how hard they try to normalize being gay, deep down, they know that homosexuality is a humiliation ritual. Which is why it's always their first insult. Bro, it's such a shit show at every single level. They're like, what's the most pathetic thing you can say? I'm gay. Unbelievable.
Which is kind of weird how they always do that. Like But then again, I will say I do find great delight in finding people that I know are homophobic and pointing out that they're a little flamboyant themselves. I think that's fun. But then again, maybe Nux is right on this one. Maybe it's just because it's the worst thing to possibly be. I don't believe that, but whatever.
Unbelievable W's wherever you go. Thank you, libtards. Very cool. Show writers have tried to turn Homelander into a Trump analog. and this is how they tried to end it. Entire show is just a deranged sexual humiliation fantasy projected onto Trump, and that's
Pretty
really
much
what they did. You know, the first season was fire. Second season was really good, and then it slowly but surely kind of devolved into like really like.
I will say I liked most of season 2, and I think that the fact that Stormfront started off being a girl boss, and then it turned out she was just a Nazi is pretty telling and pretty damn accurate. If I'm completely honest. They accidentally own themselves in all of these things.
Hyper, like, kind of relevant memes that you see on Blue Sky. Like, my favorite scene in the fifth season is, like, they get Homelander finally having absolute power, and they're like, what do you want to do? And he's like, I'm going to ban abortions. And I'm like, Base? If he would have gone through with that, he would have single-handedly saved more lives than he actually killed throughout the series. I'm just saying. You know, Elon Musk responds with pathetic. Like, wow, this is just shit. Wow, this is just shit, bro. All right, and he's right. For the record, it's the lowest rated lowest rated episode on the show. It's just really bad. So Eric Kripke, the guy who made the show, this is the writer. Oh my God, this is better than what the boys did to Homelander. I'll never get a better review ever. You ruined the show to own the chuds, bro. Really? Really? Oh my God! Elon replied after I made the boys a projection of my unhealthy obsession with political grievances with Trump. I win! I win! This has got to be.
Sorry,
the
I had to.
saddest thing I've
And
ever seen.
I'll like my own shit
This
because
is
fuck you, I
unreal
can't.
levels of cope, but it gets worse. It gets worse. So here we have two of the other actors just being like, ha 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 ha, Lamau, wow.
And I'm really, if that's really Jack Quaid, I'm really disappointed because he seems like a cool dude.
Guys. Whoa, they're making fun of Elon, and then you got like libtards being like, they're making fun of Elon. I love them. I'm telling you, man, we are reaching levels of hilarious self-destruction I have never expected to see. Now we got Mehdi Hassan. I had to bring him back here. This is a Islamist terrorist supporter. Oof, that The Boys finale. Thank you for 5 seasons of astonishing television and real-world political commentary amid the gore and humor and soups. Bro, this is fucking awesome, bro. This is amazing. I'm happy that you guys got.
I love how
Mehdi Hassan
everything
to
that
appreciate
Mehdi
the
Hassan
Trump
likes
Trump
sucks.
getting killed. You know, so then Elon replied to a couple of other tweets. Kripke probably got flagged from his wife's boyfriend for Homelander being used in based memes and had to write that ending as a groveling apology. I'm not upset, just remarking that the ending sounds fake and gay. Ha
Yeah.
ha ha! He's posting multiple times. Also, I have notes on his joke writing. Ha ha ha! Hashtag the boys. Again, possibly the saddest meltdown I've ever seen in my life. Again, congratulations, you got Elon Musk to tweet 3 times. It was totally worth destroying your entire
good
TV show.
job, dude.
Oh my God. Meanwhile, he pays for Twitter. Crazy. That's insane. Oh my God.
That's pretty damn funny.
Your own TV show to win a Twitter argument. Like, it's just so sad. It's unbelievable. All right, now, just to understand. So the Deep, he's one of the heroes. At the
Oh,
end
this
of,
part
Boys
is pretty
that
fucked
dies.
up.
All right, bad guy. Source tells me the Deep is stable. Please, God.
And I caught this because I saw the video as it happened of Charlie Kirk getting killed, and then I saw Tim Pool's post. Even though I saw the amount of blood and where he was shot and everything, and I was like, oh, he's gone. Oh God, no, he's gone. Then I saw Tim Pool's post, and I was like, okay, maybe Tim knows some people. And then it turned out, nope.
This is obviously a reference to Tim Pool thinking that Charlie Kirk survived his assassination. And the official Boys account responds like this. That's right. Ha-ho! Yeah! Not only are we going to make fun of Donald
That's
Trump
horrible.
and Elon Musk in the finale, but we're going to make fun of Charlie Kirk getting assassinated. Like, this is delusional levels of retarded. I mean, again, you don't even need me to say it. It's the lowest rated episode of the show. Everyone fucking hated it. Even libtards hated it. You know, Moist Critical made a video talking about how shit the ending was. And he hates Trump. Right? He made like 12 videos on the Trump phone. All right? But he hates Trump and he thinks your show sucks. So who are you appealing to?
Literally no one.
Terminally
Literally
online
no one.
losers? And you, like, this is pathetic. All right, anyway, in the Boys finale, Homelander had to look powerless, according to Eric Kripke. Yeah, it was really important for us to use Homelander to experience a little bit of time powerless. Oh, people ask me, well, why don't you send him out into the world powerless? Wouldn't that be the ultimate punishment? I'm like, it would. until he gets his hand on some more compound V, and then he gets powers again, or back to where he started. So he cannot walk out of the room alive. We have to spend time with him powerless.
It's
to
about the
reveal what
message.
everyone's been saying all season, which is take away those powers, and you are nothing. Wow.
Trump has no powers.
Wow, that is so deep.
He's
That is so
rich.
deep. And he's so cowardly and blubbering and pathetic, as are most strong men when you remove their power and they're faced with their imminent death. Rarely handle.
Isn't this a dude?
Except, ironically, for
My
Donald
dude.
Trump, who was fucking shot in the ear and stood up
As
and
a
put his
regular
fist
human.
in the air and said, "Fight, fight, fight." Ironically, you make this whole Trump analog, making Homelander super pathetic at the end after losing his powers. But ironically, the guy who actually looked death in the eye, stood up and said fight, was Donald Trump. And everyone knows that. Even the libtards know this. That's why this is so funny. Because there is no amount of spinning you could possibly make. When I saw the scene, it finally hit me. Homelander was the bad guy. The man who I spent 5 years idolizing was not actually a hero at all. He would even engage in homosexual activity to save his own life, which is the worst thing a man can do. Bro, it's just miserable, bro. It's just unbelievable. I want one of you guys to articulate how Homelander was a parody of Trump, and I want you to feel that. And I want to know why you feel that way. You know, it's like they're doing their absolute best to be like, oh yeah, if you think he's a parody of Trump, that means it's because you see Trump in Homelander. Got him! Got him! Yeah, it's because, yes, Homelander on The Boys is supposed to be Donald Trump, according to, you know, the writer of the show. You know, because the writer openly states it. You know? Because the writer openly says that they are trying to make him an actual Trump parody. You know, maybe that was part of it. You know, they're trying their best to, like, rewrite history here. Now, another absolute cinema at the ending is saying...
Look, if you're not intelligent, you can't write intelligent people. You can only write as smart as you are unless you get the help of someone, which is why She-Hulk was horrible, because they didn't consult anyone who was funny or knew anything about comic books or knew anything about the law. So they just kind of flew by the seat of their pants and based it on shows that they watched in the 90s and early 2000s. Like, what are we talking about?
Is like the smartest woman in the world, right? That's her superpower. And eventually she loses her power at the end, and she's so happy that she loses her power and she can go to Disneyland and stuff. So you're telling me that a black woman is shown to be happier when she's dumb, loud, and consuming high amounts of slop and TV? What did Eric Kripke mean by this? Now, the reason why I just find this absolute cinema is because this guy did his absolute best to completely and utterly shred Trump and conservatism. By doing this, he accidentally made Homelander by far the most popular character of the show, and it was not even remotely close. The memes of him are everywhere. Every single social message he was trying to deliver at the end was just kind of, so you're telling me black people are happier when they're dumb loud and going to Disneyland and doing slop? So you're saying that homosexual activity is actually something to be ashamed of and really lame, actually? Is that what you're trying to get at here? And then they like tried to do this grand finale, huge Trump analog. If Trump lost all of his power, then he would also be groveling. Except we literally have a real life example of how that didn't happen. Now, Asmongold did a little clip of this, why everyone is mad at the boys, and why the boys just completely fell apart at the end. Well,
bad writing, like most modern Hollywood's anything.
Was miserable.
So what the fuck happened with the boys? So holy fuck, the boys finale was garbage.
Yep, and Mudar is a liberal.
Not a single second of Homelander going scorched earth. If you were honestly waiting for that, you can skip the episode. So this guy, the boys creator, tells...
unironically, Homelander, when he was in season 1, was infinitely more dangerous than Homelander in season 5. You know?
He really was.
So funny how they fucked up literally everything.
Toxic fans just... Dude, this was in 2020.
And you'll see things about how people identified and thought that Homelander was the hero, and I'm like, no, he's just the funniest, most interesting character in the show because the actor's great and he elevates the material. No one thinks that, literally no one except for Nick Fuentes, and probably not even him because he's not an idiot despite being a groiper. No offense, but I'm sorry, that was mean. I have a couple of groipers that watch, and the two that actually watch, they're in the same region as juggalos. Until recently, I've only met one or two that I actually liked. And I've had a couple Groypers come through here, and they started off kind of huffy, but once we started talking, they were actually okay and sensible. I don't know if it was just those two, but again, but no one thought that Homelander was the hero. Nobody. And people who say things like people thought Homelander was the hero are the same people that think that people thought Eric Cartman was the hero of South Park. No, he was funny because you're not supposed to be like that. What are we even talking about? And if anyone actually does think that way, it would definitely explain why red pill people get so much traction. Like Myron Gaines, the Fresh and Fit guys, of course. Sneeko, I mean, just because they have a good point once or twice does not mean that they're intelligent. They just post those 1 or 2 base clips that they have to suck you in, and then you're just like, oh yeah, this is all right, I guess. I would assume. I don't know. It didn't work on me. Like I watched 1 or 2 of their clips, and I was like, okay. And then I've seen some of their stuff. I saw Abba and Preach's coverage on them, and I was like, ew, gross. Watch some of their stuff. Yeah, gross. Not really my thing. But then again, you'll see their clips on YouTube and Facebook, and you'll be like, okay. And then you'll see a few more, and you'll be like, oh, okay, those are flukes.
22. Eat a bag of dicks and fuck off to the sun. I feel like every time that I hear somebody that says that, I feel like it never turns out to be well. The Boys was always about Trumpism.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. He says he's fine losing.
Yeah. Speaking of dipshits on the left, Evan Loves Worf is one of the biggest. I literally think that the only people that follow him are retard shills on the left and content creators on the right. I don't follow him, but he keeps popping up in my shit. The Boys writer season 1. Homelander is a rapist, mass murdering coward who gets off to literally being breastfed. Right ringers. He is us. The Boys season 5 writers. He is still all those things. Right ringers. What the fuck? No one thought he was a hero. Nobody. Literally nobody. I know people on the left, I know people on the right, and I know a lot of people in the center. Everyone loved the first season because he was such a great bad guy, and Carl Urban, we will watch you in anything. Season 2 was pretty good. Season 3 was... Season 4 was bad, and Season 5 was just bad. Okay? People are mad because the quality of the show's dropped, and you've completely ruined a really good character. Thank God for Anthony Starr for elevating the material and the character. Yes, no one thought no one thought that Homelander was a hero. Nobody. Nobody outside the show thought he was a hero. What are we talking about? We just thought that he was a very fun villain. And he was. He absolutely was. And the fact that you botched this so completely is equivalent to Game of Thrones. And anyone who says otherwise, whether it be this retard or Matt Jarbo, that other retard, the guy who was the definition of a grifter. People thought he used to stand for something. He never stood for anything. He can barely stand, the fat fuck. Anyway, continuing, sorry.
Viewers who
I love how these people do this. They completely destroy their own show, and they're like, well, I'm actually totally okay with this because I owned Trump. Wow.
You didn't own anything.
His social agenda.
And this is why you shouldn't pay anyone in Hollywood in advance.
And, oh, wow. Anthony Starr's going...
You should pay the actors in advance, but there should be a clause in there that where you can withdraw your salary to a certain point if you do anything to hurt the movie when you're out there advertising for it. There should absolutely be a clause in there. Absolutely. And the people who make the movie, the director, the writers, all those other people who directly affect how good the content itself is, should only be paid based off how well the movie does.
Goal was never to create Homelander as a Donald Trump parody.
That's right. the actor was like, no, I can make Homelander like a really awesome, compelling character. And the writer was like, no, you will make it goy slop and you will like it.
Totally understand Ant's point of view. He's like, I'm not doing a caricature. Well, wait a minute. So they wanted Homelander to be Donald Trump, but then the actor was like, that's cringe.
Yeah, he's like, it's cringe. I'm not going to do it.
Tried to pressure this guy. And again, this is such a great, like, everybody.
And do you remember the only person in this whole cast who got any crap for anything? I think he got a DUI at one point. They tried to fire him from the show, probably for this. If it had been any other actor, they would have covered it up like they always do. But since he didn't want to turn it into some Trump parody, they tried to fire him. They tried to get him off the show, but fans did what we do. And we're like, no, that's bullshit.
Everybody knows this guy for this role.
Thank you, everyone. Please vote. Fuck MAGA, and have a great night.
Trump raped his brain. That's crazy. The Goys is insane.
This guy, look, the biggest accomplishment he had is this show currently, the first 2 seasons. It's the biggest triumph he's ever had. And the first 5 seasons of Supernatural, a show that ran for an additional, 9 or 10 seasons without him, only one of which sucked. They slowly got better, and I haven't seen past season 10 just because it's a lot of shit. Because back then, shows were like 20 episodes a fucking season. But I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the first 5 seasons. Season 6 sucked ass. And after that, it started getting really, really good. I like the first 5 seasons, but it's just CW shit. And I was fresh out of high school, okay? And yes, that's Eric Kripke. That's the Eric Kripke. That's why you see Sam and Dean in this show. I think Sam was in
What
there.
a special person.
And I know you've resisted, and I understand why.
He's
like, you don't
fucking CW show creator that got a real show.
You know, it's over to the writers in that respect. I don't dabble in that much. I sort of, my career is not for Republicans or Democrats. As Michael Jordan said back in the day, Republicans buy sneakers too. That would be way outside my purview to be in that lane and start deciding what
Dude, he was such a fucking good actor.
people should or shouldn't think. And
It's also massively disrespectful to him as an actor when you just want him to play this like weird allegory to Donald Trump so they can have you dance around and make their political guy that they don't like look stupid.
I'm doing what I'm doing right for the character, and sometimes, and Eric would testify to this, when it's gotten too close to something, I think, we don't need to. Like that doesn't feel like it's in our world. I'm happy to voice it.
So what is this? So Homelander kills Elon Musk.
Homelander, glad you're here. I'd love to bend your ear.
Right, so just understand, in the actual episode, they canonically make this the world's richest man who loves space and who wants to further the white race and has multiple children from different mothers and has like a dark MAGA hat. Okay, so it's Elon Musk. The most obvious, painful, on-the-nose Elon Musk parody of all time.
Fertility rates.
Oh, why don't you wait for us in the garden? We just need a moment, right? Right this way.
Dude, with the hat and everything? Oh, that's so cringe.
Who the fuck is that? Gunter Van Ellis, world's richest man. 17 children, amateur astronaut. So? Well, he represents a consortium of billionaires, and they have a few requests.
I don't have time for this.
Yes, Indiana Jones. What?
It takes him out.
Yep.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Takes him out.
That's not a documentary.
Flies him away.
Oh, she's sure.
What did you...
He's an astronaut. I took him to space.
So, he killed Elon Musk. Do you get it? Do you get the deep nuances behind the parody?
Which is not a bad joke, but the setup was, it was just too much. It was just like, oh, this and this and this, and he's got 16 kids, and this. I mean, literally, the only thing they didn't do was just name him Elon Musk. If this had been a character that they introduced and only gave a couple of details about and just kind of vaguely referenced to Elon Musk, would have been a lot funnier. And the astronaut thing, pretty funny.
Parody, how he killed Elon Musk?
Kind of.
Wow! And then Elon Musk said I was pathetic on Twitter? Damn, I really owned him. He ruins his finale to own Elon Musk. Elon Musk is like pathetic, one-word tweet. And he goes, he fucking says, yo, this is amazing. Yo, he said pathetic. We got him, boys. Yo, oh my God, this is amazing the way he said pathetic. This is the most performative sad shit I've ever seen in my life.
This is it. He kills Elon Musk. That's the only person he killed in the finale, by the way. So
when he was supposed to go scorched earth, it was all false advertising, man. It was
Yeah, it was
false
all a lie.
advertising to the extreme degree. Scorched earth was him just killing Elon Musk.
Did they just make these posters for what? Scorched earth, shock and awe, blood and bone. So none of this...
And none of that happened. There was no scorched earth. There was no shock and awe. There was no blood and bone. Well, I guess.
Happened.
Suck your dick, please. I'll do anything. You want me to eat shit? I'll eat your fucking shit. I'll eat your fucking
Why did he talk like that?
Jesus.
Why does he talk like
Constant living rent-free in there.
Oh, that's exactly what it is. And all of the weird sex stuff throughout the entire show, it's just like loosely disguised fetishes from writers throughout the show. It's like, yo, and then he had sex with an octopus, and then the other guy became really tiny and crawled up his asshole, and it was like, bro. Bro, I don't want to know what goes on in Hollywood, man. I don't know what the woke Jews are doing, but it's not kosher.
Kripke's head for a decade at this point. Anthony Starr is the reason why the boys survived. He made Kripke's shitty writing feel purposeful. He had passion in every scene. Every meme or the expression convinced the audience that there were far more substance, only for the finale to leave you looking back with nearly nothing. So this dude goes and like doesn't want to be Donald Trump, and then the season finale is just trash. Why is it that so many of these people in Hollywood
series finale? Now the big reveal at the end was he wanted to suck your dick.
I mean, how many examples do we have now of this? It's also they tried to make him Jesus. Yeah. How did Donald Trump do this to so many people?
That's right.
How did he do that?
That's how you know Donald's the GOAT. That's how you know he's the GOAT. He managed to mind rape a generation of retards.
This.
Brother, I've taken the fight as far as I can. Corrupt FBI, transgender immigrant rapists, forces of darkness in today's world are simply too much to bear. A real savior with real American values.
This is Reddit.
Jesus.
It's literally.
Does this AI slap?
This is.
I'm not worthy. Neither was I.
Then I accept.
This is actually like written by Reddit. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel
so
real.
They go full ass, Trump parody mode at the end, destroy and crater their entire show. Everyone hates it. The reviews are in the toilet. And absolute cinema, and then they just humiliate themselves publicly on Twitter, making believe that they owned everybody by pissing them off, by ruining a show that a lot of people liked. When leftists can't kill you, they'll kill themselves. Colossal W, leftists.
Yeah.
Can I just take this moment to thank Donald Trump for mind-raping a generation of retards? Because holy shit, I ironically did get so much satisfaction out of that at the end. Like, I'm so happy the ending was absolute abysmal dog shit as opposed to like lukewarm.
I really am too.
Like,
at least it was so bad, and the entire show's been meme-worthy, especially Homelander, as played by Anthony Starr. The whole show's been meme-worthy, and I'm glad that it ended on a meme-worthy note.
For me, an ideal ending of The Boys would be, Homelander decides, you know what, we're just gonna put all the homeless people in camps. We're gonna deport all the immigrants.
Yeah,
we're gonna
we'll
turn
put
America
them
into
into
paradise.
camps.
They would have done that shit. That would have been fucking cinema. They decided not to, which I understand and didn't expect it, to be honest. But I'm so happy the ending was dog shit as opposed to mid. Because dog shit, you could make some good fun and have some nice laughs out of absolute dog shit. If it's mid, it kind of dies in a whimper. So I want to take this moment to thank you and thank Anthony Starr for making Homelander fucking awesome. Trump raped another one. Colossal W, Orange Man. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And definitely
I don't know if I would have phrased it
another
like
deep
that,
dive.
but
A new deep dive every day. I'm back. I took like a 3-day vacation, but I'm back for a little bit. Who knows how long? Hopefully long. But thank you so much. Do appreciate you immensely. Definitely subscribe. Share with your friends. I cover all the things every day. Mega deep dive in the least homosexual way possible. You people are goated. Bye. Bye.
Actually, time to play.
okay. And that's gonna be it for the show today. Sorry, this was a long one. It's Memorial Day. I didn't really have anything, but I did want to cover all the things. And I just wanted to make sure that I kept the show consistent and gave you all a long ass episode for a long ass day off. But man, It's going to be a good rest of the year. I feel a lot better. I'm already starting to lose weight. I've already been writing and stuff for a bunch of stuff that's coming down the line. Hopefully soon. I know I've been saying that. Y'all are probably tired of hearing it, like worse than with George R.R. Martin, but that's the truth of it. I love y'all to death. I appreciate it. Yanuka, I appreciate you being here. Shapeshifter, I'm sure you're doing some kind of family bit for, not for Memorial Day, but, you know, you're normally most of the time here on Mondays. But for the rest of y'all, I appreciate you stopping by, in and out. We've had a few. But yeah.